Rocky or Ranchers? It don't matter because tough is tough. It's Philly against Texas in the FCS quarterfinals with Villanova at Tarleton State. Like any great fight, we've got contrasting styles. Cassius Kearns, greedy, aggressive, leads a Tarleton State defense that has an absurd 38 takeaways. Pat McQuaid, smart, disciplined, engineers a Villanova offense with a minuscule 5 turnovers. Winner on to the semifinals. We started with 24 teams, 7 remain after 2-seed Montana State beat Stephen F. Austin in the first quarter last night. Bobcats will host a semifinal next weekend, and Tarleton State will host if they can beat Villanova. With that, hello and welcome to Stephenville, Texas. I'm Loa Galindo with the SEC's all-time leading passer, Aaron Murray. Lauren Sisler will join us from the field. Now, take a moment and imagine the CFP without Ohio State, Alabama, and Georgia. That's essentially what we have here in the FCS. First time since '09, we've reached the quarterfinals with no North Dakota State or South Dakota State. That means opportunity. A team like Villanova, who won it all back in '09, or maybe Tarleton State. Texans are one of the favorites now to run the table.
Yeah, and I think that's what the excitement heading into the game for the fan bases, for these players, these coaches, talking to them this week of, hey, we have a legitimate chance, and we got to take care of business this afternoon to continue to move forward. And, you know, looking at Tarleton State, that offense, you showed the turnovers in the open right there, but this offense right now, led by this quarterback, Victor Gabales, 44 points per game. And the thing that excites me the most about them is the fact that they take shots down the field. They are not afraid to push it vertically. 20-plus yards down the field, 105 attempts this season, one of the best in all of college football. Really puts a lot of stress on the defense. You're going to see a lot of this slow mesh, reading the linebackers, reading the safeties. And for Villanova, they got to be on their P's and Q's, trying to slow it down. One of the best FCS linebackers right now, and Shane Hartzell, he's going to have to diagnose it. Is it a run? Is it a pass? And then make split-second decisions to try and slow down one of the best offenses in the country.
The Texans won the toss. They've elected to defer. Biggest game in Tarleton State program history. Started playing ball back in 1915. But this is only the Texans' second season eligible for the FCS postseason. 1 win from the semifinals. 2 from a natty. And a low kick, trying to stay away from a dangerous Villanova return game, as the Wildcats, Dale Law will just pounce on that one. Well, this is a resilient Villanova offense. 10 straight wins despite losing an All-American center and all-conference running back in that streak. Pat McQuaid, the poster child for a smart, not scared offense. Only 2 picks all season long.
Well, that's the big thing in this game when you talk to both coaching staffs, is which team can take care of the football. Obviously, we talked about the stats offensively for Tarleton State, what they can do taking the ball away, but Villanova, only 5 turnovers given up this entire season. They want to run the football, easy access throws, but protect it's going to be the key this afternoon.
McQuaid with the quick toss to Braden Reed, only a true freshman. This is the man that had the game-winning score in the final 3 minutes last week as Villanova went to Lehigh and knocked off the number 5 national seed.
Not big, 5'9", 180, good little slot receiver, and man, just has come in here as a true freshman and impressed his coaching staff with his knowledge. He's a coach's son. His dad coached him in high school, but understanding of defenses, offensive structure, and then go out there and executing at a high level.
2nd and 1. McQuaid will keep. He's got a seam sliding down to the 45-yard line, and yes, this signal is correct. First down, Cats.
Well, it's going to be the interesting thing for this defense. Wants to play a lot of man-to-man coverage. Well, when you play man-to-man coverage, a lot of eyes are on, obviously, your attended receiver or tight end or running back. It's not going to be on the runner. So advantage to a team like Villanova that wants to use their quarterback in the run game.
Going up against a Texans defense that is ruthless. They would take a football from a toddler. 38 takeaways, 10 more than any other FCS team. And that is popped up and dangerously close in the ballpark of Ty Rawls, who was thinking about takeaway number 39.
Well, perfect read, man-to-man coverage. You're going to get what I call the low hole player, the rat player at the linebacking spot to move with the play action. And then you got to make those plays in big-time games like this. I know he's only a freshman in Brandon Reed, but you want to be able to make that catch. You catch that. Only a safety left. Could have been an explosive.
Wildcats did not score in the first half last week against Lehigh. Isaiah Ragland tries to lower the shoulder, and it stood up. After the 1-yard gain, Devin Sterling is there for the number 10 scoring defense in the FCS. A legend on the sideline for Villanova, Mark Ferrante. He's been with the Wildcats since 1987 when he started as an outside linebackers coach, head coach since 2017. 3rd and 9.
Man-to-man coverage across the board. Find your best matchup. Probably going to be number 1, Luke Colella in the slot.
McQuaid to throw. The lefty slings it to Luke Colella. And Colella got rocked at the end of that, but that will be good enough to move the chains for the first down.
And he ran not only past his defender, but also past the low hold defender. Look, you're going to have one safety there that's looking for a crosser, so you're going to have outside leverage by the defenders. He ran by both of them on that shallow cross for the completion and the first down.
Cassius Kearns had the hit. He is the lockdown corner for the Texans. Villanova is on the move. Jabril Mace has room. Mace is still going. The Texans don't see him. And Jabril Mace totes the pill inside the 10-yard line.
Well, this is going to be a perfect example. If you want to play man-to-man coverage, look at all the DBs. Their backs are towards the running back. They're just running off. It's an easy block for the receivers because you just tell them, well, hey, just run a go route. You don't even have to block. Just go. And what your action will take care of it. There's no one left as Mace is able to get into the red zone with a nice run.
28-yard pickup for Jabril Mace, the 4th most rushing yards nationally since the start of November. He's had to be huge with no David Abbott. Lead back that is out. McQuaid thought about it, eludes the rush, tries to turn the corner, the late pitch, can't do that! Takeaway, 39 for Tarleton State. What was Pat McQuaid thinking?
Oh, I don't know, trying to make a play. He's a lefty going to the right side and then tries to push it late. There's a flag late, so maybe McQuaid ends up getting saved right now with a penalty. But we talked about this quarterback does not make mistakes, and right there, critical in the red zone.
Ineligible player downfield, offense number 76. A penalty is declined. First down, Tarleton State.
Blake Smith comes up with the interception in the end zone. Now 24 picks for the Texans defense.
And you know, as a quarterback, you cannot just float the ball in the red zone or throw it across your body. McQuaid's been so good all year, but this defense even better.
Pat McQuaid just threw his first interception in his last 144 attempts, wants that one back, and it's understandable to see why. Blake Smith picked it off.
Just bad. I mean, the drive was perfect. You're running the football, a couple nice passes. The 3rd and long on the deep cross to your top receiver for the first down. Really moving the ball down the field, and we said the team that takes care of the ball in this matchup is going to be a team that wins it this afternoon.
There's the Texans head coach, Todd Whitten, winning his coaching program history. His 3rd stint as Tarleton State's head coach. His offense is the highest scoring offense in America at 44 points per game. And no quarterback takes more downfield shots than number 11, Victor Cabales. Slow mesh concept. Here is one of those downfield shots right into the breadbasket. Peyton Kramer trying to haul, and he does out of the gate. 80 yards for Peyton Kramer.
Oh, we didn't know when the slow mesh was going to come, and it came on the very first play of the game. This is why you run it. You get safeties put in such a predicament. Do they want to come up to stop the run, or do they need to stay back? And it just takes so long. And Victor Cabales does such a tremendous job putting the ball in the belly of the running back, pulling it out, and then a perfect throw on the post route to the outside. As we take one more look on the way out. This team throws it down the field more than anyone else in the country. And they're doing it early. First play of the game. 11 to his roommate for the touchdown. Slow mesh offense really going to put these safeties in a bind. Watch Garrett Rogan here, the safety. Then over the top, we're going to have one-on-one now with the nickel on the post route. And this nickel defender is expecting to have support from the safety. The safety comes up with the slow mesh, one-on-one, perfect route from Payne Kramer, and then an even better throw from Victor Gabales. And that's how you score an 80-yard touchdown to get things going for the Texans.
Longest completion for Gabales all season long. Let's see if the Texans stay away from Jabril Mace. They do. They didn't let North Dakota's returners get their mitts on it a week ago. Mace does come up. It's Isaiah Wright with the return here. And not much happening on that return. And let's say hello to Lauren Sisler down on the sideline.
What's up, guys? You know, Victor Gabales has learned how to stay calm because his career has been anything but that. He committed to Hawaii out of high school, and then the coaching staff left to go to Washington State. He followed as a walk-on, earned a scholarship, and then the coaches got fired. So it's chaos, it's uncertainty, it's starting over. But Victor told me he never panicked. He just kept working. He grew up at Texas Tech and then really found his home here at Tarleton State, where he says it finally felt right, a place that cared about him as a person, not just as a quarterback. And this is a quarterback built for moments like this.
And McQuaid showing he's built to take on some contact. Met Devin Sterling at the middle of the field, picks up a couple of yards.
I think going back after that last possession, you had to go to your quarterback McQuaid and say everything that we wanted and thought they were going to do, they're doing. They're playing man-to-man coverage. We're going to have to beat them with some slants and seam routes. But then running the football, we just cannot make mistakes, especially inside the red zone. And
just such a gut-wrenching turn of events for the Wildcats. Got into the red zone. McQuaid forced to throw through a pick and nearly threw a second one right through the hands of Sterling, who's had an active start to this game. And immediately after that interception, it was the 80-yard bomb to Payne Kramer. That's how quickly this game can change.
We're seeing early on right now why this defense on the season has now 39 turnovers, 24 interceptions, almost 25. Mixed it up. Usually we see a lot, you see a lot of man-to-man coverage. That time they dropped into zone perfectly underneath the curl route.
Villanova on a 10-game winning streak. In that stretch, 20 touchdowns, just one pick for McQuaid. That changed on the opening drive. 3rd and 6, McQuaid flushed. Will scramble, cannot get away from the Texans defense. The purple and black swarming. And Pius Jenga is there to make the stop, his 3rd sack of the season.
Well, they're swarming because there is absolutely no one open down the field. Aggressive bump, man-to-man coverage by the secondary players, and no one was able to get off any sort of press on the outside. McQuaid's trying to find a gap then to run the football, and no luck, and a nice 3-and-out after that 80-yard touchdown.
Luke Larson, the 33-year-old punter, has it blocked, rejected by Omar Emmons. And the Texans have the football inside the 15. Oh my.
We got the slow mesh offense, and then we have the slow punt, and just waited way too long to get the ball off his toe, giving Tarleton State the ability to get in there, get through the wedge, and then really does not a good job blocking up front by any of those 3 offensive players. And Emmons able to get that right hand in between to block it, and now all of a sudden, worst case scenario for Villanova.
His defensive coordinator, Tyrone Nix, says Emmons has the best hands when it comes to forced fumbles. Shows it off there for the punt block. Gabales set up. Here's Tylen Hines with his stiff arm, still fighting inside the 10. Tylen Hines dislocated his elbow on the 5th play of the season. He was supposed to be the lead back. Trey Page then took over, and the freshman became one of the best freshmen in all of the FCS. He got hurt, had surgery on his foot. They went basically a week with no true running back until Hines made his return. And Hines has been a force. Back-to-back 100-yard games. And a flag is down. Gabalis in the double coverage, thinking that is a free play, looking for Trayvon West.
You're going to get a free 5 yards. Nice job utilizing the hard count there. Don't always like using the hard count inside the 10-yard line offensively.
Offside, number 91 of the defense. Half the distance to the goal, still second down.
You're going to get 2 defenders to actually jump, and I said I don't necessarily like using it inside the red zone because you don't want to back yourself up at all. A little risky there, but it pays off for the offense.
Caleb Lewis, the power back now in to Gabalis' right. Texans so far without their leading receiver, Cody Jackson. And Lewis nowhere to go. Shane Hartzell met quickly. It's a Villanova defense that essentially plays with 3 interior linemen, tries to funnel the activity to Hartzell and his running mates at linebacker.
Well, they're going to play a head-up nose and then what we call 2-4-eye technique. So the four is over the tackles. They're going to play inside of those tackles on the outside.
Daniel Greek now checks in. He's had to start games with Gabalis having injury concerns the past couple of years. Did not think about transferring in the offseason. So the coaching staff designed this package for him to rumble, and he's a big boy, 6'5", 230. So that's on a 3rd and 3, and it will set up a 4th down. And Gabalis hesitated on the sideline at the 20-yard line. It looks like Greek will stay out with the offense.
I like this play right now. You said it, 6'5", 225, get downhill. This is what this defense for Villanova is built to stop that inside zone, the inside lead run game.
Danny Joyner tight end in the backfield with Greek. Greek will follow Joyner. Second effort. I don't know if he got there. Was he elbow down? The ruling on the field says it was. As it stands right now, it looked like a 4th down stop, but officials signaling 1st down.
1 yard to gain, big 6'5" quarterback, just short of the end zone, but plenty of yards to gain to get the 1st down and wisely keep him in there. And now you're going to have 3 or 4 opportunities with a big 6'5", 225 quarterback to get in the end zone.
Power set for the Texans. Greek all the way, too easy for the big man. That's one way to get hydrated. And Tarleton State capitalizing on their first ever trip to the FCS quarterfinals.
Just watch Jordan Love, the center, does a really nice job of passing off and then getting to the linebacker. So he throws off the nose tackle, then bam, is able to then get Bursey, number 32, to lead the quarterback into the end zone.
And just think about how this game started. Villanova with a brilliant opening drive. They threw an interception in the end zone, led to an 80-yard touchdown pass. Next drive for Nova, a block punt. Texans are able to cash that in with Daniel Greek rumbling, stumbling, and it's 14-0 Tarleton State.
This is what makes this sport so amazing.
The college football playoff first round begins Friday, December 19th and continues Saturday, December 20th.
Well, it was a wake-up call for Tarleton State in the second round of the FCS playoffs a year ago. Learned that they had to get better at the line of scrimmage, and they have addressed those needs and come out with the charge here. Their first ever trip to the FCS quarterfinals. 14-0 lead for the Texans. A takeaway and a block punt leading to those 14 points. Another short kick, returnable for Isaiah Wright. And Wright nailed one of the Texans out of bounds and then stopped running and got hit from behind. Well, coming up at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC and the ESPN app, bowl season has begun. Got Boise State, Mount West champs for the 3rd straight year, squaring off against Washington in the bucked-up LA Bowl at SoFi Stadium. Boise State before becoming a darling of the upsets in major bowl games, was an FCS national champ back in 1980. Then made that seamless jump to the FBS level. Pat McQuaid back to work, going to the ground, and nothing is working for Jabril Mace. What does McQuaid have to get going on this drive?
Well, got to protect the football. Interception on the first drive where they moved the ball massively down the field. That last possession was fortunate not to throw his second interception in the game. You saw early on the game, get him on the outside, utilize his athleticism. Let's see if they get back to that. You see right across the board, man-to-man coverage. This defense is not afraid to get in the mugs of these receivers.
Reed, the freshman, in motion. It goes to Mace, sifting through the Texas defense until he's brought down by Brandon Tolvert.
That's one way to get to going to for a quarterback. Gets a third and manageable. This is high alert man-to-man coverage. Let's see if we get some sort of cross. I always like mesh routes in this moment right now. Can you get a natural rub or pick? And then Tyrone Nix, man, what he's been able to do with this defense all year. Just tenacious as the DC here.
Former defensive coordinator at Ole Miss in South Carolina and the SEC. 3rd and 3. And that is caught, but rocked is Braden Reed. Goodness. Bam Smith and Jaden Albert getting their money's worth.
What a catch, though, from the freshman receiver on the shallow cross. They're actually going to drop into zone coverage. A little bit of a twist defensively, and you're going to see the safety coming down and the linebacker sitting right there for the 5'9", 180 receiver, and he's able to catch it, concentrate, bring it in. And that was a much-needed first down for this offense, just to take a little bit of a breather and stay on the field.
You notice when there's a defensive player on the scouting report, and his name is Bam. Back to the ground. Mace is brought down by Josh Griffiths. Tarleton takes so much pride in the fact they don't lose many players. They lost Griffiths after an all-conference season 2 years ago. He goes to Oregon State, didn't see the field last season, jumps back in the portal, comes back home here to Stephenville.
And it's worked out beautifully for him and his defense. And this is a defense, too, an entire football team. A lot of seniors, a lot of veteran players.
Isaiah Ragland now a tailback. McQuaid pulls it from him and wide open. And spinning is Chris Colby, his 18th catch of the season. The sophomore from Raleigh, Massachusetts.
This is what Pat McQuaid does so well when you turn the tape and watch number 7. The ball is out quickly. You see the hips, ball's in the belly of the running back, flip it like a middle infielder, a second baseman, a shortstop, and very accurate in the intermediate game. Very opposite of what Tarleton State wants to do. They don't push the ball vertically down the field as much. Those are the quick hitters that they want to be able to execute.
McQuaid in his first season as Nova's quarterback. And there is Isaiah Ragland wearing that number 20 that Brian Westbrook made famous. And it was one of his running back mates in Jabril Mace that actually broke Westbrook's program rushing record earlier this season with 291 yards against Towson.
And Ragland had a big game against Harvard a couple games back, 152 yards. Love his balance, a little bit of the thicker of the two backs. Mace 175, Ragland 205, so really nice combination of speed and power between the two of them.
I thought there may be some cool story about how Ragland got Westbrook's number 20.
No.
It just said, no, that's the number he was issued. Mace trying to run away, but he is dropped as A.J. Owens, fantastic open field tackle. And the man calling the play is Chris Bowden. That is the most prolific quarterback in Villanova history. He was the quarterback for the Wildcats when Brian Westbrook was the running back.
I think right now in this third and longer situation, understanding should be two down territory. You're going against an offense, you're down 14, an offense that can score. Just make sure you get positive yards right now. You're going to use this motion indicator as man or zone.
McQuaid, lefty, slinging it in time, and Colby makes his second catch of the drive.
Well, you use the motion to get the indicator to the quarterback. Is it man or zone? Okay, it's man-to-man coverage. There's a low hole player. I want to continue to say this. There's a low hole player. So there's someone defensively that does not have any man-to-man responsibility. So defensively, Lowell, everyone's going to be playing outside leverage. They want to funnel everyone to that low hole player. So as a quarterback, you just know ball's got to get out on time before that receiver gets to the middle of the field.
Mace with the carry. Mace cannot find any green turf to run through, and it's a stop right there at the line. Which will bring up the 10th play of the drive. James Turrentine was there.
Well, this is an offense that no matter what's going on in the run game, they're going to stay committed to it. Last week, only 27 rush yards. It's the fewest amount of rush yards they've had in a win over the past 30 seasons, but they did not get away from it. They understand that the RPO game, the play action game, you have to stay committed for all 4 quarters.
Went a lot more empty with players in motion last week. Concepts that they hadn't really run in a few seasons to try to get a spark. McQuaid, pressure in his face, dumps it to Mace. Mace to the 20-yard line, could have got more, but another fine tackle by Jaden Aubert.
And Antonio Johnson, the tight end, out on the perimeter, 6'4", 260, leading the charge, has a nice block, but McQuaid goes through his reads, doesn't see anything, and then gets the ball to a speedy running back in space for a nice gain there on 2nd down.
3rd and 5. Does Nova play this like they're working with 2 plays here?
Not now. You're in field goal range. I would love to get some sort of points in the 1st quarter.
Field goal kicking is shaky for Nova. McQuaid looking left side. Cuts it back up. Sifting through. And McQuaid rolling over Texans to about the 15-yard line. Right near the sticks.
What a play by McQuaid. They're actually going to drop to zone coverage, so they did not have a play designed for it. They had a play designed for man-to-man. Nothing down the field, and McQuaid just doing everything he can to find the 1st down sticks. And you ask, go for it on 4th down. When you get to this 4th and short, essentially under a yard, keep the offense on the field and see if you can get it. You have 2 first-team all-conference offensive linemen on the left side.
Mace the carry, Mace the contact, and Jabril Mace has the 1st down.
Kyle Fay, number 67. Really nice job blocking it down. This is the perfect drive for Villanova. As right now, they're down 14-0, trying to find a way to get into the end zone.
Coach, a very strong opening drive until that interception in the red zone. Your team now driving. How do you carry some of those momentum here in the 2nd quarter?
Yeah, I mean, it's what you and I talked about in pregame, right? We got to avoid the turnovers. They're good at getting them. We don't normally give them up. That was very uncharacteristic of Pat to make that play. And they have an explosive offense, and they hit us with explosive. So we got to limit the explosives. We got to take care of the football. And obviously, a block punt is like another turnover. So they got the turnover battle 2-0 right now. So hopefully we can punch one in and, you know, make a little bit of a comeback here.
Thanks so much, Coach.
Thank you.
A 14-0 lead for Tarleton State, the number 4 national seed in the FCS playoffs. Villanova, the 12 seed. They just knocked off undefeated 5 seed Lehigh. Isaiah Ragland. 1-yard gain on 1st down after Nova went for it on 4th and short and converted. Unbelievable to think that Tarleton has a 14-0 lead when you look at the time of possession.
Yeah, Nova over 12 minutes of possession. Tarleton State only 248, only 6 offensive plays for the Texans, yet they're at 14-0 right now. That's what happens. You have an 80-yard touchdown and then a blocked punt where you get it inside the 20-yard line.
Winner moves on to the FCS semifinals. McQuaid, who threw an opening drive, interception in the end zone, is engulfed by Josh Griffiths, his 2nd standout play in the early goings of this contest.
Omar Emmons, number 4, he's kind of a hybrid between a safety and a linebacker. They've moved him around. He started his career at safety, then they moved him more to that nickel position. 5'9", 170, but he's in the slot right there, manned up, and does a tremendous job. Pat McQuaid wants to get to the slot receiver and just completely blanketed by number 4. Has to pull it down with a loss of yards on the run.
15th play of the drive. Ragland. Not going to work. Brought down by Bam Smith. And Villanova will bring out the field goal kicking unit. And this has been an adventure to say the least. Jack Barnum, 13 of 22 on the season. He's 4 for 10 on the road this year. Missed a potential big kick last week on the road against Lehigh. This for 31 yards out to get the Wildcats on the board. And it's going to find the right side of the upright to get Villanova on the board. 14-3, Tarleton State leads Nova here in Stephenville, Texas. Awesome scene with an 11 a.m. local time kick here in Stephenville, Texas, home of the Tarleton State Texans. That is the winningest head coach in program history, Todd Witten. 3 stops here in Stephenville. Only the second season eligible for the FCS postseason, and Witten has the Texans a win away from going to the semifinals. Winner will face the winner between Illinois State and UC Davis later today. And from the 3, D'Angelo Rosemont. And Rosemont bottled up at the 23-yard line. Tarleton State has had a fantastic run. Jumped on the national radar. Well, they went to Army and won in double overtime, 30-27. Had a 9-0 start to the season. Their rival, Abilene Christian, finally got them on November 1st. Had an opening bye as the number 4 national seed, took care of North Dakota in dominating fashion, 31-13. And in that performance, the offense actually didn't start all that well. Off to a much better start here with touchdowns on the first 2 drives. Cabales picked off. Intercepted by Anthony Hawkins. Reversing field and is drilled at the 45-yard line. Part of Cabales' game that he's really cleaned up. However, that is his 5th interception in the last 5 games.
He just floated backwards, just not very good footwork, and then throws it clearly over the receiver's head. And look where Hawkins is. He's going to come all the way across the field to make the play. So I think as a quarterback, you're saying, oh, I got all this green grass. Doesn't see Hawkins come from the other side. Nice job reading the eyes of the quarterback, going over there, and then making a much-needed turnover, getting a much-needed turnover for Villanova.
Hawkins, just a redshirt freshman, but not flinching in the postseason. Had a huge 4th down stop in the red zone on the opening drive for Lehigh last week. Comes up with a critical pick that could get Villanova back in this game. McQuaid gives it to Jabril Mace, and Mace picks up a few yards before Sterling makes a stop.
I want to go back to the time of possession right now. It may not show up. It's not super hot this afternoon here in Texas, but still, you're on the field for a long time, and the time of possession, as you see on your screen, over 14 minutes right now. That is going to start to wear on this defense, maybe end of this quarter, definitely into the second half.
Strength of the Villanova offense, the offensive line. All 5-year starters, multi-year starters for Mark Ferrante. McQuaid with the screen. It's set up beautifully. Jabril Mace, he's got a big body out in front, won't need it. Takes it down to the 27-yard line.
Well, this is a great offensive line. A combined 188 starts or games played for all of them. You see right there the ability to get on the perimeter, on the screen game, take care of second and third level defenders to get the first down. But, man, they've leaned on this offensive line all year, and they're going to have to continue to lean on them here this afternoon.
Got shut out in the first half last week against Lehigh. Finally got on the board with under 5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Game-winning score with under 3 minutes. Reed's gonna throw, wide open. How do you like that? Villanova dipping into the bag of tricks. Lucas Kopecky with the 27-yard touchdown off the throw from Braden Reed.
Perfect time to bring it. Just got the first down. Everyone's thinking run, run, run. And then the ball hung up there for a little bit. I was a little nervous because Kopecky did a nice job of kind of faking like he was blocking, and then Bam gets on top of the defender and was just waiting for like a punt return. And all of a sudden now, turnover.
Blocked, extra point, scooped up. Tarleton can try to return this for 2. Kearns finally brought down. And just when Nova has some momentum, maybe the Texans steal some of that back.
Well, still, they get an interception and then now a touchdown. All of a sudden, you're down 14 points. Things aren't going well. You're on the road. But now Villanova with a little trickery turns into a one-score game.
Welcome back to Stephenville, Texas. The FCS playoffs continue with semifinal action next Saturday on ABC and ESPN2. For more information, visit NCAA.com, the home for all NCAA championships. Tarleton State knows if they win, they get to host a semifinal here. But what a playoff this has been with that shocking upset. Comeback fashion by Illinois State, knocking off the defending champs, the national 1 seed, North Dakota State. And first time since 2009 we've reached the FCS quarterfinals without South Dakota State or North Dakota State. The team that won it all back in 09, the Villanova Wildcats. Tarleton State, however, up there among the favorites to win it all this season, and only its second season of FCS postseason eligibility. Victor Gabalis, some throw interception number 6 on the season. Villanova responded with a 3-play touchdown drive. They got tricky there with Braden Reed to Lucas Kopecky. How did the Texans respond? And a quick shot is good. First down yardage to Peyton Kramer, who started the game for the Texans with an 80-yard bomb from Gabalis.
Well, I think this offense right now, I think their defense actually is hoping they can stay on the field, put together a nice string of plays, get going running the football a little bit with number 1 Hines back in the backfield.
And here's the toss to Hines. Hines began his career at Hawaii, where he was a team captain and one of the most explosive runners in the FBS. He's just not a big guy, 5'7", 180. Just great to see him back, still wearing that elbow brace, because 5 plays into the start of the season, dislocated that elbow. They thought he may be done for the season.
Yeah, now all of a sudden you get him back. You see the last 3 games, shorter than 15 yards, 7 yards per carry. You get him at the end of the season, and he doesn't really have all the mileage because he hasn't played since that first game of the season.
The explosion from Hines out of that slow mesh, man. He can get up and go fast. Hines is still up and takes it into Wildcats territory. A 20-yard pickup for the junior from Mount Pleasant, Texas.
Let's watch the slow mesh, slow, then bam! We're off, baby, let's go. And that's what they were missing early on the season when number 1 was not on the field, utilizing that slow mesh, and then, hey, I want to give the ball to the running back, and then all of a sudden, you blink your eye, and he's already to the second level.
And Witten told us it's really not an ideal concept to run out of, but Hines is making it look easy. Patience, and then a little bit of a punch, but got hit by Richie Kimmel. Lauren.
Yeah, guys, and after that dislocated elbow, they were not certain they'd even get him back until next spring, but to get him back now, Coach says, has been a huge blessing. He really adds juice to the run game.
Tylan Hines back-to-back 100-yard games. Gabalis pressured, makes one man miss. Will not make the second, and the third dude clobbered him. Shane Hartzell was the man to wrap him up and then set up another Wildcat defender, Kimmel, to rock him.
Well, it's going to be Bursey on the edge coming to the inside. You want to be able to stop the slow mesh. Defenders have to win up front. You get the quarterback off his spot, and then from there, Hartzell is there to take him down for the sack. But really starts at number 32, Bursey, off the edge right there with the inside move.
These linebackers, the real deal for Villanova. They knew they would have to involve them in the pass rush to get to Gabalis. Third and long. Gabalis a long throw, and going down to make the catch is Kramer. That's going to be well short of the line to gain. Sets up a fourth down. Offense for the moment staying on the field.
It's pretty long there, I would say. Pooch punt from the quarterback possibly, but
come on, man, not in the playoffs. We ain't pooch punting in the playoffs.
I don't know if I'm going for it right now on the 39-yard line with 6 yards to go either.
Putting it in the hands of Gabalis, who swings it low to Tylen Hines. What do you make of the play call and the execution there?
One, I thought they should have put the football in the first place, but two, the execution was horrible. The ball at the feet of the running back, and if he catches this, he's one-on-one in open space to see if he can make the first down.
College football's most prestigious fraternity welcomes a new member. The Heisman Trophy ceremony presented by Nissan, tonight at 7 on ABC.
Tarleton State defensive coordinator Tyrone Nix and the rest of this Texan staff, big fans of Diego Pavia. Why, you may ask? Well, the core of their defense, JUCO players who got an extra year of eligibility before this season because of the Diego Pavia ruling. So Cassius Kearns, Ty Rawls, A.J. Owens, all back for the Texans because of Pavia. Low snap, McQuaid lets her rip, one-on-one coverage, and almost a fantastic catch made by Luke Kallela. Giovanni Melidor in coverage.
Well, Melidor was stride for stride, but a really nice throw by McQuaid. They do not throw the ball vertically down the field often. Only 17% of the passes this year have gone over 20 yards. But this is what happens when you play a man-to-man defense, Lowell. You have to be perfect. You got to take some chances. You have to make those plays when they're there.
Kallela, transfer from Princeton, closing in on the 7th 1,000-yard receiving season in Villanova history. Came into the game 45 yards away. Here's Reed, the electric freshman. And Villanova has the defensive coordinator, Ross Pennypacker, to thank. He was the one that kept trying to get the offensive staff to look at Braden Reed, saying, I know he's not 6 foot, I know he's not a burner, but the guy makes plays over and over again.
He's just a football player, man. He's a coach's son. He understands the X's and O's, and they were just happy that when they finally did offer him, obviously he accepted on the spot, but that he didn't commit somewhere else in the meantime. And what a season this year, heading to this game, 26 receptions, 240 yards, 2 touchdowns, and has been critical here in the first half, especially with that touchdown pass he made the previous possession.
All because the defensive coordinator believed in him. 3rd and 9. Back foot throw, dangerous. McQuaid already has 1 interception. 1 was dropped on the second drive by the Tarleton State defense, and you get that stop on 4th down, not the drive that you're looking for to follow.
No, especially because you feel like for Villanova, the momentum's starting to go to their side a little bit, and another bad decision though. We've seen both these quarterbacks this afternoon, both of them take care of the football really well this season, but making some careless throws.
Last punt attempt for Luke Larson was blocked. Set up the second Texans touchdown. This is a short kick and kicks backwards and will be stopped at around the 25-yard line. So points off turnovers, that's how it started. Opening drive, Nova was cooking. McQuaid with a questionable decision. Very next play, the absolute bomb from Gabalis to Kramer, 80 yards. There's the block punt, and there is Greek with the carry into the end zone. It was 14-0 at that point, but Gabalis is picked off, and it would lead to this. Reed to Kopecky. How do you like me now, says Nova. 14-9 trip to the semifinals on the line. Side of the bracket meets up with the winner of Illinois State and UC Davis. They'll play later tonight. Gabalis felt the pressure, momentarily got away, and maybe gets 2 yards as Richie Kimmel corrals him.
I think the goal for this Villanova defense, and this is for most quarterbacks in the RPO world, is you present one thing pre-snap, then you do something post-snap to try and confuse the quarterback. And it just seems right now Gabalis, other than that first play of the game where he read the safety absolutely perfectly, is just a little uncertain of himself.
On 2nd and 8. And it's Hines, and Hines is dropped for a loss. Shane Hartzell, of course, a finalist for the Buck Buchanan, given out to the top defensive player on the FCS level.
Well, it starts up front with Wobodo, number 98, and that's going to be the matchup they play. We talked about earlier, they play a head-up nose and 2-4 eyes, but watch him absolutely just dominate up front, getting into the backfield, and you can't get a run play going if the defensive lineman is 3-4 yards, allows the linebackers to then fill to get the tackle for loss.
Rough start in this game for the Nova defense, like it was a rough start to the season. Free play for Gabalis. Gabalis wants to take his shot. Double coverage. Oh, Hawkins dropped it, but it was a free play with Villanova clearly offsides.
Offside, number 96 of the defense, 5-yard penalty. It's still 3rd down.
Ugo Wotite was offsides.
Just a little early off the blocks.
He was making a sandwich too once he got off.
Let's not forget now, these 3rd and long situations, Cody Jackson, one of their top receivers, got banged up a week ago, out for this game. They've been missing him here early in this ball game.
Dealing with a sprained knee. Gabalis just eyeing that pressure. Capri Martin missed him. Gabalis is still up, and Gabalis, did he stay in bounds long enough? And he's going to be short of the 1st down.
I can't tell you how impressed I've been with Villanova as we watch. Where's that left foot? Get it, right foot, left foot right there.
Yeah.
Clearly out of bounds before the line to gain. But man, for this defense to give up an 80-yard touchdown, Lowell, to start the ball game, and then be put in a situation in the red zone, backed up after the blocked punt. Other than that, they have been absolute nails of continuing to change the picture up for this offense, this post-snap read offense, and making them uncertain what they want to do, running the football, pulling it, throwing it, and really the secondary as well, locking up those receivers.
Charlie Mullen, the punter for Tarleton State. Low liner, end over end, and fielded by Reed. One of the top run returners on the FCS level. Picks up a couple there. So the Villanova Wildcats lost 2 of the first 3 games. Got spanked in Happy Valley by Penn State, 52-6. Then lost to Monmouth, 51-33. But they've ended the regular season with 8 straight wins. Got a number 12 seed in the FCS playoffs. Opened up by crushing Harvard. They were ready from the jump. And then a sluggish start against Lehigh. Trailed 7-0, but were able to come back and get that win. And you talk about this Villanova defense, only the 2nd team since 2013 to hold their first 2 playoff opponents to 7 points or fewer in a win. So they have been locked in. Now it's time for McQuaid, and McQuaid is dragged down. The stop is made by Ty Rawls, big hitter, JUCO transfer out of Alabama.
So you're starting to see Tarleton State really already an aggressive defense, but 2nd, 3rd level defenders playing within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. We did see Villanova take a shot down the field, previous possession on a go ball. Let's see if they can create some more explosive plays through the air if this defense wants to continue to be ultra aggressive.
And there is the shovel. Kalela will spin his way forward. He's got 5 100-yard receiving games this season, one shy of the school record.
We talk about the middle 8, and Villanova got the ball first. They would love nothing more to continue to run clock here, try and get some points before halftime, and not give Tarleton State the ball back, knowing that the Texans get the ball to start the second half as well. So no real rush offensively.
Ragland probing and takes it to the 50 and is slammed down. Tyrolls in to make the stop. Impressive though that Nova has stayed in this game despite the fact they trailed 14-0 and the opening drive ended the way it did.
Oh my goodness, 14-0, and it just felt like everything was spiraling backwards for them. But once again, like, you look up 3 minutes to go, you get the ball at the 50-yard line, second and medium right now. You can walk into halftime with the lead the way they've been playing the offense.
Under 3 minutes here in the second quarter. Stephenville, Texas, home of the Tarleton State Texans, and there is movement on the line.
We're going to flinch by the right tackle, number 67, Kyle Fay.
False start, number 67 of the offense. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
There's a quick flinch from 67 on the outside. Right now.
Offensive line that's had to overcome adversity. They lost Jake Picard, All-American center in week number 5. Quinn Whalen has done a fantastic job taking his spot. Also played some key snaps in the playoffs for Nova last season. Here's McQuaid stretching the field, and he was looking for Brandon Binkowski. There was a flag down after that one was incomplete. Binkowski only has 11 catches all season long.
Going against one of the best corners in the country, and Cassius Kearns one-on-one, and Cassius just gets too much jersey, grabbing on that outside, out-breaking route.
Holding number 2 of the defense. 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And that is against Cassius Kearns.
Didn't help either that the receiver starts to slip. Mikowski at the top of his route probably made it look a little worse than it was, but definitely some tug in there from Kearns warrants the penalty.
Fresh set of downs from the 44-yard line, plus territory now for Villanova. Pat McQuaid, first-year Wildcats quarterback, has Chris Colby. Colby has the sideline, and Colby looking at a breakout performance, 19 yards, and Colby on the game, up to 3 catches.
Well, watch these defenders. You're going to get a mesh concept, but they're going to run into each other. They're trying to communicate. They're trying to pass off these receivers, and that's why anytime you get man-to-man, expect lots of these crossers, forcing the defense to do a little bit too much.
Colby was buried on the scouting report for these Villanova receivers. Only 17 catches coming into the year. He's got 3 in this game in the first half, as Robert Rios is the injured Texans defensive player that is down. Villanova, a team with a lot of experience in postseason play. Mark Ferrante has brought them a lot of that. He was an assistant coach when Nova won it all in 2009. In the tournament for the 5th time in the last 7 seasons. And making his 3rd appearance as a head coach in these FCS quarterfinals. The numbers by the name of the teams on the screen, that's their seeding. Tarleton State, the number 4 national seed. Villanova, the number 12. Wildcats enter this game with 10 straight wins, their longest since 12 straight in 97. Just knocked off the number 5 national seed Lehigh on the road. And that will take us to the 2-minute timeout. Pat McQuaid engineering another solid drive for the Cats, trying to punch it in and take the lead here in Stephenville.
Coming up at the half, we will preview the Heisman Trophy presentation and why the betting favorite is neither Roddy nor EJ's favorite. Is it Villanova hanging around, or is it Tarleton State hanging around?
Feels like it's Tarleton State. 80 yards on one touchdown play. They've got 125 yards in the first half. Feels like they haven't been able to get anything going.
Big key for the Villanova in the second half, protect the football. They'll be fine.
You need to do that. Lowell, we will see you guys at the half.
Kevin, thank you so much. Roddy's spot on. After that 80-yard bomb from Cabales on the first play for the Texans, he's got 18 passing yards total. Meanwhile, Pat McQuaid had that bonehead play on the opening drive, interception in the end zone. Outside of that, it's been brilliant. McQuaid lofts this one. Tremendous adjustment made by Reed, but that throw was dangerous as well.
It was, but it's man-to-man coverage, so you know the defender's looking at the receiver. You're just hoping the ball obviously doesn't get tipped up in the air and someone else come in to make the play. But definitely trying to fit into tight windows. But you know when you face a defense like this, there's going to be some tight windows. And you're going to have to be able to put the ball up and allow your receivers to go out there and try to make some plays for you as a quarterback.
Reed, the man with the lone passing touchdown for Villanova, found his fellow receiver, Lucas Kopecki. Pressure in McQuaid's face. The hands! Incomplete. Colby thought he had the touchdown. Omar Emmons had other plans.
Well, it kind of felt like a basketball play right there. Colby at 6'3", is boxing out the 5'9" cornerback on the outside, has his hands on it, but look at Emmons continue to fight, and yeah, that ball clearly hits the ground. We've talked about number 4 numerous times in this ball game, and he actually leads the team in punch-outs this season. You saw right there the ability to continue to fight to force that ball to come out.
The classic had it until it didn't. 3rd and 10. Crowd is loud here at Stephenville. McQuaid rips it and nearly picked off. Went through the fingertips of Luke Colella. And Cassius Kearns nearly came up with the 7th interception for him this season.
Just a risky pass. You see all the second level linebackers, secondary players backing up to the line to gain. And you have 2 in-breaking routes that end up being almost on top of each other. Ball's just off, and those are the ones we talk about. The tip passes are the ones that really scare me against this defense.
42-yard field goal attempt for Jack Barnum. He's made from 31. And off the boot, it looks good, and it is. So Jack Barnum has had all sorts of issues kicking on the road, yet he's 2 for 2. And it's a 2-point deficit now for Villanova, despite the fact they trailed in this game 14-0. Well, we've got a quintuple header in college basketball coming up later today. Memphis, Louisville, Kansas, NC State. We wrap it up with UCLA and Gonzaga. Man, the Zags looking really good. So what they did to Kentucky last week.
Did you just think of quintuple before you said it, or was that last night going through this? That
no,
you thought
I read it off the card. I don't even know what quintuple means. Is that a place? Is that an idea?
It's an ESPN special. That's what it is.
Oh, it's 5.
Ah,
gotcha. Quarterfinal round here in the FCS. Tarleton State led 14-0. Opening drive interception. Victor Cabales on the first play for the Texans hit Peyton Kramer for an 80-yard touchdown. He has only 18 passing yards since then. Really, the game-changing play was engineered by a freshman, Anthony Hawkins. Safety for Villanova had the interception that set up that trick play touchdown. Rosemont takes it out to the 25-yard line. So now, Victor Cabales, after the explosive start, just tries to get some semblance of momentum. We saw him have that awful throw on a 4th down play that was in Villanova territory. He's looked off.
He's 3 for 5 on the game, only 98 yards, and 8 of it on one play. Kramer, the only receiver with a catch so far in this game. We brought up Cody Jackson. He was their big-time receiver on the outside. He is not playing in this game, and you're really seeing this offense miss number 2 right now.
Cabales throwing on the run. Willis broken up at the last possible moment by Newton SCM.
Well, Willis is the replacement for Cody Jackson. They weren't sure if Cody was going to be able to play. They would be rotating back and forth. The one thing number 7 does have is speed. He was able to get on top of the defender right there. But Victor, let's see if he gets there early. Maybe a hair. I don't mind the call. I always hate those super short back shoulder throws where the defensive player gets called for the PI. I think a good no call.
Marquise Willis, the younger brother of NFL quarterback Malik Willis. It is a deep receiving core for Cabales. Pressure was picked up off the fingertips of Kramer, his roommate.
Right now, Victor Cabales just looks so uncomfortable in the pocket. Watch this. He almost double hitch. His feet are everywhere. The ball's then behind the receiver. 11 right now just needs to calm down, trust what he's seeing, and throwing the football because he looks super uncomfortable. And credit to Villanova right now, man. What they're doing defensively really causing him to think a little bit more.
Held Harvard in their playoff opener to 7 points. That's a team with a potential NFL quarterback. And then Lehigh, a team that was rolling last week, also held to 7 points. A team that was undefeated until they faced Villanova. And that's going to back up Tarleton State.
Infraction, number 63 of the offense. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
And Aaron, just to reiterate, this game started as good it possibly could have for Tarleton State and as poorly as possible for Villanova, but it's entirely flipped.
It feels like it's Villanova's game, and right now, too, Villanova has an opportunity to get off the field and get the ball back with plenty of time to go, and all 3 timeouts remaining as well for the Wildcats.
3rd and long, Cabales backside pressure, got home. Capri Martin coming up with the sack. He's got 2.5 on the season. And the junior from Harlem found the target and eliminated the threat.
And it's just a 3-man rush. That's all they're going to do. They're going to green dog at the end of it. Hartzell as well, but it's just 3 on 5, and those guys know, hey, pass the situation. Let's pin our ears back and get after the quarterback, and Martin's able to do so. This is not a defense that really gets a lot of sacks because of the formation of their defensive front. Really nice job there.
So on one side it was Capri Martin, the junior from Harlem. The other side it was Ratu Delano Navati, freshman from Brooklyn. And they really love the way Big 99 has come along this season. Just a redshirt freshman, scratching the surface for that man, Mark Ferrante.
All of a sudden now, too, you have a kicker that's playing with some confidence right now. 2 made field goals, a nice 40-plus yarder last time. 2 timeouts ago, over a minute and 17 seconds on the clock. Villanova may take the lead going into halftime right now. That's what they're thinking and feeling at the moment.
Huge punt here for Charlie Mullen. Got to be precise with the dangerous Braden Reed back to return. Reed, one of the best returners in America. And he's going to have a chance. But will fall just shy of the 50-yard line. So the Villanova defense has done its job, forcing back-to-back 3-and-outs. And despite that opening drive, we are starting to see Pat McQuaid show his leadership abilities. They call him the juice captain for this Villanova team in his first season as a starting quarterback since transferring from Nichols.
And the one thing McQuaid's doing too is he's spreading the wealth. 5 different receivers with receptions here this afternoon. Not just looking at Luke Colelli, who is his top guy, but you're seeing Colby start making an impact. You're seeing Braden Reed obviously make an impact in this game, both catching it and throwing it as well. So he's finding his man-on-man matchups that he likes, and he's executing.
Chris Colby has been fantastic as well. 3 catches, however, did drop a potential touchdown. McQuaid, man, he has been aggressive. A long sideline throw to Luke Colella. We pointed out, typically stretching the field was something that Cabales did a lot more than McQuaid.
Well, that's one of his best throws, I think, that you turn on the tape. It's the rhythm 3 hitch, deep out routes, comeback routes on the outside. And they do it a little bit differently at Villanova. The receivers don't break towards the sideline. They break back to the quarterback and then fade gradually to the sideline. But McQuaid, man, these rhythm throws, you see it on tape, really good, very accurate as well.
1:06 and 2 timeouts remaining for Pat McQuaid. McQuaid, a little too much juice in this one. He thought he was throwing to Usain Bolt.
Well, I think he's trying to look off the safety a little bit too much and then just did not see that Kalele got hung up one-on-one man coverage against the DB and was unable to utilize his speed down the field. So somewhat of a throwaway throw, but still plenty of time, one-on-one, 2 timeouts. The clock stops on first downs, so don't be afraid to utilize the middle of the field. Or for a quarterback, don't be afraid to run it versus all this man-to-man coverage.
4-man rush. McQuaid flushed and will just heave this one. Have a shot on 3rd down.
We're actually going to go to that, back to that mesh concept, expecting the man coverage. It went zone, and not what you want to go. Watch everyone. It looks like man, they drop out in the zone. You see the mesh concept. Not ideal. It just throws it away. That was in 3rd and long. I still think you could be, if you get a positive yards here, Lowell, I think this could be 4-down territory. So see if you can get 5 and 6 yards here and then go for it on 4th.
6th best attendance of the FCS here inside Memorial Stadium. McQuaid, open man and through the hands of Chris Colby. Colby's going to want a couple of these catches back. And that could have been another touchdown dropped on the sophomore out of Massachusetts.
I mean, what an absolute rocket. McQuaid throws it. It's one-on-one in the slot. You have a bender against Kearns. And that ball is perfectly thrown to the big 6'3", 200-pound receiver. McQuaid knows it, man. There's certain throws, low, when you let it go, you're like, oh, that felt good. Those are that was one of those throws that felt good coming off the hand. Missed opportunity there. You got to catch that ball in a game like this.
McQuaid can swing it now. Been impressive. Here's Larson. And this one is going to sail directly into the end zone. So let's see what Tarleton State wants to do with 43 seconds left. They have all 3 timeouts remaining. Well, tonight at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ABC and the ESPN app, we'll have 91st annual Heisman Trophy ceremony. Finalists Jeremiah Love, Fernando Mendoza, Diego Pavia, and Julian Salem. Of course, Chris Fowler hosting for the 32nd straight year. Who you got? Aaron Murray.
Ooh, I think it's Mendoza. I like Pavia too. I just think that extra data point a week ago, Big Ten championship game, you take down Ohio State. Didn't play out of this world, but played well enough to win this game. And I think Lauren down there on the sideline has someone that's not even on this list. Just, you know, maybe if she ever did pick.
Yeah, guys, I got to pick this year. Unfortunately, can't let you know who that is. Can't give you any insight just yet, but super looking forward to the show later tonight.
Hines will be dropped for a loss. Omari Bursey read it and jumped it.
I think this says a lot about what this coaching staff thinks of the first half performance of Victor Gabalis. You have over 40 seconds to go, 3 timeouts, an offense that can push the ball and score quickly, yet they're deciding to run. I think they just want to get him into the locker room, calm him down, show him some tape, and see if he can figure it out in the second half.
Who's feeling better at the break? Tarleton State or Villanova?
Villanova all day is feeling better. Their quarterback's playing with a lot more confidence at the moment.
Hines with the crease up the middle, and Hines, man, he can make you question your strategy with one shake of those hips, but that will bring us to the end of the first half. Tarleton State had a 14-0 lead after McQuaid threw an interception on the opening drive. Gabalis came back with a first play 80-yard bomb to Kramer, but Villanova clearly has the momentum, and they feel like they've left some plays out here, maybe 2 drop touchdowns as well, and a 16-play drive that only led to a field goal.
I mean, they've stayed on the field the majority of the first half. They're throwing the ball well, running it decently.
Let's throw it down to Lawrence Hisler.
Coach, you guys came out strong, now a 2-point football game. What is the message to the team? What are you talking to them about in the locker room with key adjustments?
Yeah, we haven't played very well after that early start. We're not protecting very well. We got to get back to kind of who we are. We've got to run the ball and utilize our RPOs, and we've not been able to drop back very well. I think our defense is hanging in there pretty good. We got to play better on offense.
Thanks so much, Coach. Lowell?
Sis, thank you so much. It's a Villanova defense getting after it. 5 tackles for loss in the first half, trying to cling back from a 2-point deficit. Kevin Connors now in studio.
All right, Lowell, Aaron, thanks so much. This game was headed for blowout city midway through the first quarter. Tarleton, the 14-0 lead. Nova comes back. Tarleton State's so good when they have the lead at halftime. Roddy, they could not get things going in the second quarter. How do they pick it up in the second half?
They got to be able to run the ball. It opens up the RPO. Only 27 yards rushing in that first half. 7 of them came on the last play of the half. Tarleton's got to find some balance, particularly on the ground.
And for Villanova, you got to catch the football. I mean, there's some really nice throws out there by Pat McQuaid. He's right at under 50% completion percentage in the first half. And I said that in the pop right there. Protect the football. You cannot have turnovers. You're already on the road. Keep the ball in your possession in every possession with the kick.
We've seen this Villanova offense put up a ton of points, 52 in the win over Harvard last week. Some work to do here in the second half. When we come back, we will spin it back to last night. And with North Dakota State out of the picture, why the road to a title may now run through Bozeman. With Ronnie Jones and E.J. Manuel, Kevin Connors, a couple of 11-2 teams colliding last night in Bozeman. Stephen F. Austin, Montana State, first of our 4 quarterfinals. E.J. Justin Lamson was nearly perfect in that first half.
Yes, he was, Casey. Lamson saw the field clear. He was decisive. He hit 9 different receivers throughout the entire night, spread the ball to everybody, and let everybody do their job.
But Adam Jones, to me, was really the story. As good as Justin Lamson was, the first touchdown that you saw was to the running back, and he scored 2 on the ground as well. 114 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground, and 5 receptions and a receiving touchdown as well. Lamson was great, but I got to give some love to the running back, EJ, because Adam Jones was awesome as well.
How about the balance? 246 through the air, 227 on the ground. Jones put this one on ice in the fourth quarter, and Montana State is moving on. 44-28, and Lamson's a big reason why.
Well, he was real steady. You know, there was no ups and downs. He completed a lot of balls. He made some plays in the fourth quarter, in particular with his feet. Just continues to fight, and you know, he's got a group that's certainly really following him.
Another year, another trip to the semis. Why will this be a team to continue this run?
Well, I think we just continue to get better and better. I think we're playing our best football right now. That's the intent, and you know, whoever's coming in here next week, we're at home, and that's a big deal.
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Making now 12 consecutive wins for Montana State. They've reached the FCS semifinals now for the 4th time in 5 seasons. Have not won a championship since 1984, but figure to be the favorites right now. South Dakota has the unenviable task of trying to take down Montana in Missoula, 3:30 Eastern today. Roddy, they're coming off the 47-0 annihilation of Mercer, and they do it with a ball-hawking defense.
They certainly do. 12 interceptions this year for South Dakota defensively. 191 yards per game allowed through the air. It's a South Dakota defense that's helped a lot by their offense and the offense's ability to control the ball. But you look at the turnover margin this season. Margin goes both ways. You got to take the ball away, but you also can't give the ball away on the other side. And this South Dakota defense is going to have to be able to do that today against a Montana offense that is fantastic.
Yeah, the Montana offense, Roddy, averaging 41.5 points per game, and a lot of this is by their quarterback, Ayat. 3,500-yard passer. He does a great job of getting the ball to different receivers, also in different spots. I really think his accuracy is going to have to show up tonight against the South Dakota defense. And the other part about this, L.J. Phillips, one of the running backs there for South Dakota who can run the rock as well. Should be a smash-mouth football game with a lot of points being scored.
Don't forget about Michael Wortham, 3rd in the country in all-purpose yards. They move him around all over the place.
How about moving around an offense? Villanova, a little trick play. Braden Reed, Lucas Kopecki. It's a 14-12 game at the break. Plus, a look at the Heisman Trophy on the way. Fernando Mendoza, the betting favorite. Why Roddy and EJ have their own favorites when we come back.
In the future, whenever the winner's name is mentioned,
Jeremiah Love, Diego Pavia,
Fernando Mendoza,
Julian saying,
we will always be followed by the defining phrase, Heisman Trophy winner.
Seven o'clock Eastern, ABC. Tonight, the 91st Heisman Trophy presentation. You can make a very compelling case for every one of these 4 worthy finalists But, EJ, there's a reason that says minus 2,500 next to Fernando Mendoza.
Look, Fernando Mendoza not only won a Big Ten title game, where obviously he probably locked up the Heisman Trophy last weekend. I go back to the Penn State game right there. This throw was his Heisman moment late in the game at Happy Valley, back line of the end zone of Omar Cooper. And I'll tell you what, guys, he's been steady the entire season. He can run the football right at 3,000 yards passing. So I expect Fernando Mendoza, more than likely, fellas, to lock this thing up today.
I agree with you, EJ. I want to give some love to the running back position, though, because Jeremiah Love has been phenomenal this year. 1,372 yards on the ground, 18 touchdowns, and those numbers would be so much bigger if he didn't have a great teammate in Jadarian Price that has almost 700 yards and 11 touchdowns himself. If he was the only guy in that Notre Dame backfield, who knows what numbers he could have put up. He's been the most electrifying player in the country this year.
But I will say this, there is a lot of value with Diego Pavia potentially getting this Heisman Trophy, fellas. And if you look at him in the last 4 weeks of the season, he was putting up a ton of numbers, well over 300 yards in multiple of those games. He also was running the football at a high clip, had a couple 100-yard games as well this season. And you know what? He beat his rival in Tennessee at Tennessee. And by the way, you see that number, 71 completion percentage. That's a huge deal for a quarterback who's gotten better and better every year since he's been at Vandy.
As for Julian Sayin, you can make a case he might hold up a national championship trophy at the end of this season. It comes your way 7 o'clock Eastern, ABC and the ESPN app tonight. The 91st presentation of the Heisman Trophy.
Pandemonium in here. Unbelievable. This is what makes this sport so amazing.
The college football playoff first round begins Friday, December 19th and continues Saturday, December 20th.
Fellas, we did Bowl Mania earlier today. Half the first round games feel predictable. Roddy, the other half
do not feel predictable at all. And that Oklahoma-Alabama rematch, if Alabama can take care of the football instead of turning it over 3 times like in the first meeting, feels like they'll have a good chance of winning.
Yeah, right. In that Miami-Texas A&M game, the big key is to watch the quarterbacks in this one. Marcel Reed has had a fantastic year. He can run around, make plays, also on the run. And Carson Beck must protect the football, but he's used to big-time environments.
Game day is going to be spinning the old odometer. Friday night in Norman, Saturday morning in College Station, previewing all of the first-round matchups. Victor Gabalis, an 80-yard home run to Peyton Kramer. Tarleton State, the 2-point halftime lead, and the second half is coming your way next.
We are in the quarterfinal round of the FCS playoffs. Winner moves on to the semifinals, and a fantastic matchup here is the number 4 national seed, Tarleton State, getting everything that Villanova's thrown their way. 2-point lead for the Texans, although really feels like the Wildcats have momentum in this game. Welcome back to Stephenville, Texas, home of the Texans. I'm Lloyd Lindo here with Aaron Murray. I mean, it really was following the script. We came on here talking about one team in Villanova that did not turn the football over. Texans so good at taking it away. Opening drive, Pat McQuaid, interception in the end zone, 80-yard bomb, and it's all Tarleton State. Not anymore. How'd this flip?
Well, they're possessing the football. They're staying on the field. They're getting first downs. The defensively, they're doing what they've done this entire postseason. They're slowing down offenses. You take away that 80-yard touchdown pass, this defense has been tenacious at all 3 levels, doing a really good job making Tarleton State uncomfortable in this slow mesh offense. So I think both teams feel pretty good right now. They have an opportunity to win this game as we get ready to get things kicked off here in the second half.
Winner moves on to the semifinals. Tarleton State will host if they win. Villanova, the 12 seed. They'd have to go to UC Davis if the seeding holds in that matchup against Illinois State later today. Texans with the return from the 10. Looking for a spark to get some more juice, some more life going. Because after that opening drive, Victor Gabalis has not looked comfortable.
I mean, this was picture perfect. The safety comes up, you get the one-on-one from your top receiver in the post route, and you throw it perfectly. But from there on out, it's just been very uncomfortable. This throw clearly over the head of the receiver into the arms of the secondary player for the interception. But credit to this Villanova defense, man. They're presenting one thing initially, then changing the picture, and right now number 11 is just not seeing it well at all.
Cabales just 18 passing yards after that initial 80-yarder, and nothing happening here for Tylen Hines. Tarleton State also came into this game boasting one of the deepest receiving corps in the FCS. Only program in America with 3 players with at least 700 receiving yards. Took a knock when Cody Jackson was scratched before the start of this game. He's their leader in catches. He's out with a sprained knee. And in this game, Pate Kramer, the only Tarleton State player with the catch. Weaving through some traffic is Tylen Hines, setting up a 3rd and manageable.
I think that's what you need to get going a little bit right now, is not so much the slow mesh game running the football, but just some design run plays for Hines to utilize his speed, get to some 2nd and 3rd, manageable down in distances, and take some pressure off your quarterback right now.
Average distance to go for the Texans on 3rd down today, 9.5 yards. He'll take 4 right here. Cabales to throw, and Willis converts on 3rd down for the first time today for the Texans.
Well, it's good to see someone else finally make a catch too for this offense. Willis coming in, backing up Cody Jackson, going to be the starter and full-time guy the rest of the way. Just a nice simple out route. Ball's on time, and I believe he got that left knee down in bounds. But number 7 is a speedster, had a nice 77-yard touchdown on the go route a week ago.
133 yards in that playoff opener against North Dakota for these Texans. Slow mesh to the play action. Cabales lets it fly. Willis, sideline with the grab inside the 15-yard line.
We just talked about the go ball ability of Marquise Willis and his speed, ability to get on top of the defender, and back-to-back just confident throws. This is something we did not see. Besides the first pass of the game for the touchdown, we have not seen Cabales throw the football and feel comfortable, throw it with confidence. Everything seems to be moving in the pocket, backing up. Those last 2 low, he stepped into it, throw with some little gusto on those.
39-yard reception for Marquise Willis, younger brother of Packers quarterback Malik Willis. Right from the 15 now. Cabales will throw. And picked out of the air is Trayvon West. And the Texans respond with 6. Trayvon West, the former Oklahoma Sooner, with this soft hand.
Look at this, you have formation into the boundary. Now look at all this distance that you have to run the in-breaking route. You just got to worry about the inside safety. The play action gets the safety, and it's essentially just a race, inside release race to the end zone. Perfectly thrown football. Now that's 3 straight for Victor Cabales, and a nice catch from West to get into the end zone.
Cabales 3 for 3 on this drive, 62 yards. Had to get that critical 3rd down conversion. Got it to Willis, then shows off the arm strength. And Trayvon West just picked it out of the air. Here come the Texans.
Together at the mountaintop, champions of college football.
FCS championship will be in Nashville, Tennessee this season. Frisco, Texas, a longtime home of that championship game. Mark Ferrante, head coach of Villanova, has got himself a natty back in 2009 when he was assistant head coach for the Wildcats. And just when he thought Villanova went to the break feeling good about their prospects, Tarleton State comes back with a touchdown drive. Short kick on the ground, scooped up, and will not be returned to the 35-yard line. Let's check in with Lauren Sisler.
Hey guys, I grabbed Coach Ferrante coming out of the locker room, and he said, look, the keys for the second half is we cannot give up explosives, and we've got to take care of the football. I asked him about that interception in the opening drive for Pat McQuaid, if it shook his confidence. He said no, very uncharacteristic from him, very rare. He's only had 2 prior to that one. It's in the rearview mirror. He told his team, I don't know if you had confidence coming into this football game, but you should now. You guys have proven you can play with these guys. Let's see how that shows up here in this important first possession of the second half.
Gotta love a head coach working on the toothpick in the middle of the game like Mark Ferrante. And Jabril Mace finds a crease and steps on the gas into plus territory. Jabril Mace has had to pick up the slack with no David Abbott.
Well, he's running behind two first-team all-conference left guard and left tackle, and then sees the crease and takes off. He kind of felt a little slow mesh-esque there, taking something out of the Tarleton State playbook with the first play offensively for Villanova.
Mace had 291 rushing yards against Towson earlier this season, breaking the legendary Brian Westbrook school record. And back to Mace. Oh, he's got room. Mace hitting it hard. He ain't gonna catch him. 47 yards for Jabril Mace.
That's back-to-back big-time plays. This offensive line getting out on the edge, doing what they need to do. It's an athletic offensive line. They like to pull players. Whalen, the center, getting around the edge. But, man, for Jabril Mace showing off the elite vision and speed. Back-to-back big-time runs. That second one taking it to the house.
He ran behind David Abbott for most of this season. But Abbott was injured in the 9th game, opening the door for Mace to take over, and he has. One of the top rushers in all of the FCS has taken over November, and the Wildcats still threatening down here by 2. Andy Talley led Villanova to a national championship in 2009. Eastern Washington won the next season. Then it became all about North Dakota State and South Dakota State. Those programs won 12 of the last 14. But first time since 09, we've reached the quarters, and we do not have North Dakota State or South Dakota State, so that means opportunity. Right now, Villanova and Tarleton State playing like two teams that want to capitalize. Rosemont got bumped down at the 20-yard line.
Let's go back to last drive. Seeing a confident Victor Gabalis there to start the second half. Nice third down conversion. Sees the one-on-one the outside. Perfectly thrown. Little early Christmas present down the chimney there to Willis. And then the one-on-one slant to West. 3 accurate. But most importantly, the word of the afternoon for the second half is going to be confident. Confident, good base throws from number 11.
Seeing a lot of really high-level football here in Stephenville. 27-7 all time, as the Texans starting quarterback has helped them usher in a new era of football with that transition from the D2 ranks to now D1 FCS football. And Tylen Hines with the carry and picks up 1 yard on first down.
I think things that got going there on that first drive to start the second half was a couple runs, you get to third and manageable, you get that first completion to a new receiver. Only one receiver Kramer had to catch in the first half. You got the conversion, and then you took a shot right after that. So I still think at the end of the day, this offense is going to have to find a way to get creative in the run game with Hines.
Gabalis to throw. And looked like it was tipped and incomplete. And Nova starting to get a little swaggy over there on the sidelines.
Well, I think they want a pass interference there on number 38, Newen SEM. One-on-one on the outside with Marquise Willis. Little bit of, I mean, that is a clear as nut day pull on the outside. And a missed call, unfortunately, for this offense.
Sets up a 3rd and 8. On the last drive for the Texans, they converted on 3rd down for the first time in this game. Gabalis will run. And Gabalis, not having success, lost his footing and will be well shy of the sticks.
Villanova got away with one there, going back 2 plays ago to the pass interference. Sets him a 3rd and long, and possibly had an opportunity if Gabalis doesn't slip or trip. Looks like he stepped on one of his offensive linemen's foot. Maybe, but nice job by this defense. 3 and out, should get them good field position, and Villanova still looking to get their first lead of the ball game.
Third 3 and out today by the Texans offense. #1 scoring offense in the nation at 44 points per game. And the punt is off by Mullen. Backing up Reed. Reed over the shoulder catch. Now inside the 15. Reed shakes free. Reed trying to make something happen and take it down to the 35-yard line. The man that threw the Wildcats' first touchdown pass of the day. Here's Jabril Mace.
I mean, Jabril Mace came and said, hey, you want to throw the football? Let's see and show you guys how to run the football. #4 this entire game has been electric. A little slow mesh there from Villanova to start the second half. And then this last one, the big time speed. You get him to the second and third level, man, he is just too much to handle.
Lauren.
Yeah, coming on the scene, Jabril Mace's story is about patience and preparation. He opened the season listed as the 3rd string running back. Coach told us Mace never complained, never showed bad body language. He just never stopped working. When those injuries hit, he was ready when his number was called. And guys, ready to make history. Mace broke that 25-year-old Villanova record because of the work he put in when nobody was watching.
Yeah, broke the record that was held by a man that wore that number 20. Bryant Westbrook made that famous, but Isaiah Ragland is making the number proud. 9-yard pickup.
Well, I think too for Mace, you look back the last 5 games heading into this one, 660 yards, 7.8 yards per attempt in those 5 games. So he's hitting it at the right time for this Villanova offense.
2nd and 2. Ragland stays in there. Ragland with a nice jump cut and is dragged down but into Texans territory. Also some silver lining with the running back situation, that if Villanova feels like if they win this game, they can get David Abbott back next week, who was the lead back. I mean, I don't know if he's on the level of a Brian Westbrook. He's in the Hall of Fame with the Wildcats, but Abbott's certainly a force in the backfield. The Cats thought there was an outside shot. He could be available for this game.
Well, I think the way these 2 running backs are playing right now, you continue to lean on them, and if you can add more running backs going forward with a win, huge plus for the offense.
McQuaid will throw, and that's behind Braden Reed.
Because I've loved the way, too, when you look at Ragland, even going back to that Harvard game, how dominant he is. It's just 2 different style of backs. So to be able to start the second half with Jabril Mace and utilizing his speed to get the explosive run for the touchdown, and now to give him an opportunity to take a break and spill him with Ragland. And you've seen the physicality for #20, the balance to start the second drive off, to be able to already cross the 50-yard line.
McQuaid's hit for 22, 114 yards. Opening drive interception in the end zone. Transfer from Nichols was trying to find the crossing Luke Colella.
Well, it's Luke Colella on Emmons, #4, and we continue to highlight #4 playing in the slot. He's stride for stride. I mean, it's a lot to ask a slot, a nickel cornerback essentially, to cover the entire field in man-to-man coverage, but he does an excellent job of that. Really no windows there for McQuaid to throw the football down the field.
McQuaid to the sideline, batted down, nearly picked off by Jabari Hawkins, senior out of Missouri City, Texas.
Well, they've done their film study. We saw early on in this game these deep out routes, these comeback routes. Colelli slips initially, but 5 is ready to go, sitting there at essentially the sticks, waiting for them to curl back to the inside, and Hawkins, the closest one to make a play. Nice job for this defense to answer the bell right now and get off the field.
Here's a Nova punter that's your age, Aaron. Luke Larson, 33 years old, oldest player in D1. I don't even know how old you are, Aaron. Just took a guess there.
35.
Happy birthday.
Almost.
Happy birthday, my man. Thank you. Back to Tarleton State when we return. Texans up by 2. Great environment here in Stephenville, Texas. It was an 11 a.m. kick, but they also have cheap hot dogs, cheap beer, huge game, second season of postseason eligibility on the FCS levels. They're in the quarterfinals. smaller town, hunting season as well. So a lot to navigate, but those that have arrived here at Memorial Stadium, they have been loud. And a great scene for FCS football, as there is a new window of opportunity with the 1 seed North Dakota State knocked out by Illinois State in a shocker last week. Here is Hines shaking, looking for more room, and Tylen Hines, not the biggest dude, but showing some toughness in the hole.
Well, definitely showing a little physicality there, but he's just so shifty in when he gets past that first level wave of defenders. Tough to bring down, so all of a sudden as a defender, you're kind of sitting back on your heels, and then he throws you a little curveball there, wanting to get physical.
Averaged 6 yards per carry in 3 seasons at Hawaii on the FBS level. Also a team captain. They loved him. Found a new home here with the Texans. And back-to-back carries, and Hines will fall forward. That is good enough to pick up the first down.
He still love to be able to put together just a long, methodical drive. Only about 14 minutes of possession time. Villanova right around 22, 23 minutes of possession time on the other side. So we said in the second half it may start to creep up for Tarleton State's defense with just how long they've been on the field. Like I said, could use their offense to stay here for 3 or 4 minutes and obviously get some points as well.
And time is now for Villanova. Don't want to get into a close game in the fourth quarter with the Texans. They are elite in the last quarter of play. Gabalis, and he was trying to find Trayvon West, who ends up drawing a flag.
It's going to be on 36, Bostic. Same route they had for the touchdown, just an inside slant seam route.
Number 36 of the defense. 10-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
When you get beat to the inside, you don't want to give up a big play. Bam, hits it. You see the grab of the left arm of West. Like I said, the same exact route that he just had the touchdown on. Don't want to get beat twice in a row.
It's a veteran Villanova defense at linebacker and on the line. However, they are young and inexperienced in the secondary. Bostic, redshirt freshman. Here is West on the sweep, and West is met in a hurry by Shane Hartzell. Where's the green dot? He's the team captain. He was the one that rallied the team after losing to Monmouth 51-33 and said, we need to protect the brand. That was back-to-back losses. The one on the road in Happy Valley against Penn State, that made sense. The follow-up did not make sense. It is a proud brand with that Villanova V, and they have looked like a different team. 10 straight wins. Montana State, the only team with a longer active win streak after they beat Stephen F. Austin last night. Slow mesh, Gabalis. Gabalis cannot get away from Jason Hall, one of their top pass rushers, and just scratching the surface. Sophomore from Fall River, Massachusetts. They love him.
Oh my goodness, do they love number 11. And this is the exact play that you expect from Jason Hall. Just a tenacious player, both on defense and on the special teams. Once again, everyone's covered downfield. Nowhere there for the quarterback. And number 11, who's more of a third down rusher, is able to get in the backfield to make the sack.
Cabal is sacked for the third time by this Nova defense. 3rd and 14. Texas struggling here, 1 for 6. Gabalis, long throw. Kramer got it at the 35-yard line. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
We were talking about during the break, Lowell. It just feels like Villanova is constantly right there. It feels like they're trying to take over the game, trying to get this lead, unable to do so. And now they're going to get another opportunity right now with their defense getting off the field. But you said it best, like this Tarleton State team defensively, or excuse me, a fourth quarter team, right now outscoring opponents 119-36. So this is the moment, this next drive for Villanova, to see if they can take a lead before the fourth quarter.
Well, Villanova has a guy back there to return this punt that can flip this game. Won't have an opportunity here as Braden Reed calls for the fair catch. Lauren.
Aaron, you talk about that moment, and Pat McQuaid, his road to Villanova hasn't been easy, and that's exactly why he's built for this. Kent State, then JUCO and Mississippi. far from home. Then Nichols, a 4-8 season where he didn't play to his standard. He told me that year taught him how to lose and not accept it. Now you see the growth, taking what the defense gives him, protecting the football, aside from that rare occurrence we saw earlier. Now you see that the adversity has really shaped the quarterback you're watching now on the field.
Thanks, sis, and faced adversity early. This 10-game win streak for Nova. 20 touchdowns, 1 interception, but on the opening drive, threw an interception. He's come back strong. So is this man, Jabril Mace, but tripped up, nothing doing. Ty Rawls with the stop. Rawls was in the portal in the offseason, but decided to come back to Stephenville to start for this Texas defense. He feels like this is home. 39 takeaways on the season. They entered the week with 10 more than any other team in the FCS. Back to Mace. Mace working through the middle. Mace takes it to the 27-yard line.
I really want to see Luke Colella heading into this game. 68 receptions, 942 yards, 8 touchdowns. He was their go-to guy and is their go-to guy. Has been quiet, has been bottled up in the slot. These are the moments right now, 3rd down. You have to locate number 1. It's been a battle between him and number 4, Emmons, for the majority of the afternoon. Number 2 receiver.
Nova needs 4. McQuaid got it, finding Luke Colella just like Aaron Murray ordered.
Well, that time they actually got him matched up on Hawkins and just beats him off the line of scrimmage. We talk about that low hole, that rat defender. You're going to get outside leverage from the defender. You just got to be able to get it to your receiver in time, which Pat McQuaid was able to do.
Colella now about 8 yards away from the 7th 1,000-yard season in Villanova history in his first year after transferring from Princeton. Wildcats have not led today. Mace. Oh, it's opening for Mace! And he's brought down at the 40-yard line. He almost had enough daylight to take it all the way.
I mean, I thought he was about to house call it again, Lowell. Once you got him to that second level, it looked like a possible face mask too. That was not called, but man, number 4, he gets going downhill and he is off in a hurry. 13 carries, 144. Watch out. We talk about this defense getting a little tired in the second half. That's when you see those big runs start to happen more and more.
Back to Mace. And Mace tumbles forward with a modest gain. Going back, though, to that Villanova offensive line, the strength of this offense saw 5 multi-year starters at Villanova, and they are doing this without their preseason All-American Jake Picard at center. Big, imposing athletic front for Villanova, starting to wear down that retooled Tarleton State defensive line. Felt like that had to get better. Both lines of scrimmage after a second-round loss in the playoffs last season. Here's Mace on the sweep, and Mace to the 31-yard line, brought down by Blake Smith.
I really like the play design. You go back a week ago, and a lot of this offense, you utilize the left guard and left tackle to pull and go to the right. Last time, this pass play, they did just that. They pulled the left guard and left tackle, but instead of following, they're going the other way. So defense is following the offensive line. Running backs going the other way, able to get to this 3rd and 1 situation now.
Jabril Mace with the carry, and looks like it's going to be awfully close. He does have enough. Jabril Mace picks up the 1st down.
This offensive line really starting to wear down this defensive line, Lowell, and offensive line doing their thing, tight end doing their thing as well. Watch this side just completely shut down and push across the defensive end takes him for a ride past the hole, allows Jabril Mace to see it, put his helmet down, and get the first. Nice block on the outside by the tight end.
Isaiah Ragland now in at tailback. Ragland with the carry and bouncing off the Texan and taking it to the 25-yard line. Isaiah Ragland, most carries on the team. It's really been a three-headed monster with Mace and the injured David Abbott. And this will take us to the fourth quarter, and this is what you want. Opportunity to go to the FCS semifinals, and we got a 2-point game with Nova, the team that's down, driving.
We're back here at Memorial Stadium with Coach Witten. Villanova poised to drive this one in. What is the answer for your football team here in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, we got to make a big stop right here somehow, or at least hold them to a field goal and get the ball back and put something together offensively.
Thanks, Coach.
And it's the fourth quarter where Todd Witten's crew usually comes up with the stops. They've only allowed 36 points in the fourth quarter all season long. Villanova has yet to lead, trailed 14-0. It's Pat McQuaid, star quarterback, threw an opening drive touchdown, turnover in the end zone. And going back to the ground. Ragland, contact balance, Ragland to the 10-yard line.
I mean, we're starting to see some heavy legs offensively. This offensive unit in the third quarter alone, 133 rush yards. This offensive line's moving bodies, but really the balance, the speed, and then the strength also from Ragland and Mace getting the job done.
Third red zone drive for the Wildcats, showing the diamond. Only have 3 points in the red zone. McQuaid throwing out of it. Jabril Mace one-on-one and cannot get away from the Texans defense. Blake Smith, the man that had the pick in the end zone on the opening drive of the game, makes a stop.
And that's no easy stop. We've seen what Mace can do in the open field. The 9 coming down with some speed to get that tackle for no gain, essentially. Really nice job from the safety coming up. Did you see Villanova, kicker playing well? How aggressive they want to be play calling right now.
Isaiah Wright checks in the game. He's got 17 carries all season long. Here's carry number 18. Spinning off the tackle. The Texans bowing up when they need to. Brandon Tolbert makes a stop.
Well, Chisholm, too, number 92, does a nice job getting a free hand, forcing the running back to turn it back inside for essentially the support and heart of the defense. But this is what I'm talking about, the aggressiveness. Again, a quarterback, I think McQuaid, taking care of the football all year, has played well besides really that bonehead decision on the first drive. Do you let him take a shot if he finds a one-on-one?
Listen to this crowd here in Stephenville. McQuaid, the silencer! Braden Reed has a touchdown pass and now a touchdown catch, and Villanova leads for the first time today.
What a beautiful route from Braden Reed for the touchdown. And it's just going to be an inside and then the slant. So you're going as a quarterback 1-2. First guy takes the first defender. Reed's able to beat his one-on-one. And then you have to have a perfect throw, which McQuaid executed for the touchdown.
12-play drive that covered 78 yards. Took 7 minutes and 8 seconds. But Villanova gets the payoff. They've been so close to cashing in all game long. Down 14-0, not no more. Wildcats leading for the first time today, 26-21.
This is an amazing scene.
This is a huge stage for anybody.
Make room in the trophy case.
We only pay to win, so we taking it home.
We're in the quarterfinal round of the D1 Volleyball Championship this weekend. Same round that we find ourselves in the FCS playoffs. Winner moves on to the semifinals. Tarleton State, just its second season of eligibility on the D1 level, looking for what would be the biggest win in program history. Well, Villanova, they took momentum. They really held that after an Anthony Hawkins interception, set up a touchdown to make it 14-9. And now for the first time, they hold the lead. Look at the difference at the ball control and the time of possession.
Oh my goodness, 370 yards to 29, essentially 30 minutes of ball control, and that's a big reason why they're able to have 133 rushing yards in the third quarter, really wearing down this Tarleton State defense.
Victor Gabalis has opened both halves of football with a touchdown drive. Last two drives, however, for the Texans, punts. Going back to the ground game. Hines somehow slips through. There is a flag in the backfield. Hines is going to scoot, looking for the sideline, looking for the end zone, and if it stands, a 75-yard touchdown. But from the body language of Victor Gabalis in the backfield, this thing is coming back.
Holding number 88 of the offense, 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
That's on the tight end, Dawson Hearn.
And Hines is this is a great job of essentially utilizing the fact that he's 5'7" and hiding behind the offensive line. And this is the problem when he bounces to the outside, that left hand, and I don't even think 44 could have made a play on it, but enough grab of the jersey right there between the fours to catch the attention of the refs to get the holding call.
Hearn is the top tight end for the Texans. Missed last week with an injury. Made his return for this quarterfinal matchup against the 12 national seed Villanova. Now you're backed up 1st and 20. Gabalis, second team all-conference. All day to throw. There is a flag down as he shoots it downfield as he was looking for Trayvon West.
They should be able to get the first down back and get some yardage back here with a holding defensively from Villanova.
Holding number 27 of the defense. 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's against Anthony Hawkins.
You're going to be right there on the wheel route. A lot of grabbing back and forth, but definitely the right call to call it on Anthony Hawkins. Safety with an interception early on in the ball game.
And that was the interception that really turned this game around. It was 14-3. Hawkins got the pick 3 plays later. Reed to Kopecky, trick play to make it 14-9. It's been a battle since. Gabalis, it's been up and down, looking for Willis, double coverage, no flag, incomplete. Now there is a flag coming in the Texans' backfield. It was a late flag after
personal foul, roughing the passer, number 32 of the defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And that's Amari Bursey. Yeah, you extend the arms like that. Look at that call.
Oh, soft. I hate these calls on defenders nowadays, but maybe a tad bit late there from Bursey, extending his hands to push the quarterback down. I did like the no call defensively, though, and everyone's upset. New number 38, the cornerback, a little grabby on Willis, but not enough to throw the flag.
Gabalis to the tight end. Danny Joyner, he wants all that action. And Joyner still scrapping 2 yards shy of the line of game.
I love Joyner out there, finding the zone, sitting down, presenting the numbers to his quarterback, 6'3", 250. Doesn't run through it, sits between the two linebackers, and then catches it, and very savvy to then get north.
Tylen Hines the carry. Hines slipped 1, slips 2, lowers the shoulder. And Tylen Hines showing that He's as elusive as it gets on this FCS level, 10 yards.
And yet the Villanova sideline upset, felt like they had a holding call on the receiver from Tarleton State, not called, and Hines, you give him any kind of green grass, he's able to utilize that speed to get the perimeter and get the first down. That's a nice drive from Tarleton State, taking advantage of some of the penalties, but moving the football, running it well, taking some checkdowns also from the quarterback spot.
Had a battle like this in the regular season finale, took overtime to beat Austin Peay. Cabal is sacked, number 4 for the Villanova defense, Amari Bursey. He was the one that was called for roughing with that late hit. This one was clean for the sack.
A really nice job defensively. You're going to get this way, and then he's going to come all the way across from the right side of the screen to the left side of the screen, and the center moves just enough to the right, and then Bursey utilizes his speed to get around him to then get the sack.
Hartzell, Bursey, Kimmel, Hall, the Nova linebackers are the real deal. Once again, Tarleton backed up. And Hines into traffic and takes it to the 49-yard line.
Well, it's just so hard to run up the middle against this defense because they have a head-up nose, then they have those 2 4-eyes. So essentially those 4 eyes are just inside the tackles, and they want to take advantage and push the offense to the perimeter, and then that allows those linebackers to run freely from sideline to sideline.
3rd and 19 for Tarleton State. They've converted once on 3rd down. And Cabales had an open man, but off the mark to Tylen Hines. What could have been there on 3rd and 19?
I think Villanova got away with one there on Bursey. He's one-on-one with the running back, and you see him grab and slingshot him around. Unfortunately, not called holding against Hines. And a long drive moving the football, but that sack, a super costly one a few plays ago to back this offense up.
And it's going to bring out Charlie Mullen, junior punter from Houston, Texas, for the 5th time today. Will Reed get an opportunity? Calls for the fair catch at the 15-yard line, where Villanova will come out protecting a 5-point lead, under 10 minutes left. Winner goes on to the FCS semifinals. Down to 7 teams left, all contending for the FCS national title. This is the 12th national seed, Villanova, now with the lead over the 4 seed Tarleton State. Winner here advances to the semifinals to take on the winner of Illinois State and UC Davis. Montana State punched a ticket to the semifinals last night with a win against Stephen F. Austin. Man, the Jacks made that one interesting. And then later on ABC, Montana Grizz, one of the best scenes in all of college football. Oh, and the Texans decide we're going to start popping pads. A.J. Owens with the stop on 1st down.
A.J. Owens, high IQ player, and he told his coaching staff, feel like he can play all the positions, just how much he understands the defense and what each position essentially has to do. Coming up, making a big-time play, and I think this defense you're going to see will be ultra-aggressive on this possession, knowing that, Villanova just wants to run the football and continue to bleed clock.
McQuaid wide open for him to run. He's going to peek to the sideline and scamper there at about the 27-yard line. Don't go to sleep on the running ability of Pat McQuaid.
Well, you're going to read the defensive end as a quarterback, and if his shoulders get turned down the line of scrimmage, there is no one left for the quarterback. Perfect timing for QB1 to pull it and run and get a nice little scamper for a 1st down.
Played for a Nichols team the past couple of seasons that really struggled. 10-13 in 2 seasons. Showing he's got moxie and some winning DNA, though, the way he's handled this his 1st season with Nova. McQuaid one-on-one for Kalala! He holds it in! Luke Kalala!
Goodness gracious. They catch it one-handed too. And listen, We said this defense is going to be ultra aggressive, so offensively, you know you can take some one-on-one shots down the field. A lot of hand grabbing and pushing back and forth. And Kalela, the #1 receiver, makes the big-time catch.
And goes over 1,000 yards on the season with that grab. 8:13 left. Wildcats were down 14-0. McQuaid, off the fingertips of Braden Reed. And with this Tarleton State defense on a tread lightly, Tyrell's thinking pick 6 there. Lauren.
Aaron, you said you wanted to see more Kalela. Well, you got him. Pat and Luke built chemistry before Luke ever arrived on campus. Pat would stop at Luke's high school on his drive home, and they'd grab Chipotle, then Pat would head back to Cleveland. Pat said there is just this natural connection there, this trust, and Luke understands what we're trying to do. He knows what I like and where he needs to be.
Texans need a takeaway. McQuaid hit, looking for Kalela, and just a step out of his reach. Need a more Chipotle.
Listen, they moved in together, they're roommates. And just a little bit too far for Kalela to make a play on the football. Now I would say, man, you got a kicker that's playing well right now. Can you get 7 to 10 yards? Obviously, you get 10, you get the first down, you're feeling great about it. Where is #1? He is your go-to guy. He's matched up once again in the slot.
4-man rush. McQuaid, a confident throw to the freshman, but out of the reach of Braden Reed.
And had him too. Reed, really nice stair step on the route. Able to then get vertical, break it across friendly, and that's one. McQuaid has hit a few times in this ball game. Would have been a great get the first down, move into field goal range as well.
Now Luke Larson comes on to try to pin the Tarleton State offense. Transfer from ECU. A low punt. Scooped up, an aggressive move by Caleb Lewis. But it works because otherwise Nova was in position to pin that inside the 5. Man, doesn't get much better than this. Playoff football. 5-point game with 7:51 left. A 14-0 lead for Tarleton State, cut to 14-12 at the half. Texans come out in the second half. Opening drive touchdown, Trayvon West. But Jabril Mace comes back with a 47-yard scamper, makes it 21-19. And then the go-ahead blow that Nova was looking for, that got it, the freshman Braden Reed with an 11-yard score, and Villanova leads for the first time. Yeah, two teams that are flexing like that stud right there. 26-21, Nova at Tarleton State, who will become a star like that kid in this game, with a trip to the semifinals on the line. And a flag is out before the snap. That's going to be movement on Tarleton State.
False start, number 44, the offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Todd Whitten winning his head coach in Tarleton State program history, 3rd stint here in Stephenville. They lost in the second round last season to South Dakota, and that was a wake-up call that they had to get better on the line of scrimmage. Victor Gabalis, second team All-UAC. It's been feast or famine for him. 2 drives, that's it. More than 36 yards today for the Texans. Long throw, Willis makes the catch. It's a Texans offense playing without Cody Jackson, leading receiver in terms of catches. Sprained his knee last week. They were hopeful they would get him for this game. He's been a no-go.
Well, I've been impressed, though, with Willis, the way he's played, especially in the second half. Nice go-ball catch. Nice route there, utilizing his speed, then breaking it back. Very friendly to get some of those yards back for this offense.
That throw by Gabalis makes him Tarleton State's all-time leader in passing yards. 3-year starters for the Texans. As this is going backwards, as Tylen Hines is gobbled up by Aiden Howard, another TFL. It's a Nova defense that's been living in the Texans' backfield. 8 for loss in this game.
Yeah, 64 TFLs heading into this game, and that's just the aggressive nature of those, essentially a 3-3-5 stack, or a 3-3-5 stack, and this defense line's been winning here in the second half.
Biggest stage ever for this Tarleton State program. 3rd and 8, under 7 to go. Gabalis into traffic, what a catch! How'd he do it? There was not even a sliver of daylight for Trayvon West, but somehow Gabalis threads the needle, 17 yards.
Well, I think the biggest thing for Gabalis on this play is he kept his feet calm in the pocket when he was maneuvering around. First half, when he had to move in the pocket low, his feet kind of a little bit too separated. They forced the ball to become inaccurate. There it was a subtle slide to the left, kept his base underneath him. He's able to then drive the football into a tight window, and a tremendous catch from West, utilizing that one hand to get the first down.
Under 6 minutes, winner to the semifinals. Only the second season of postseason eligibility on D1 for the Texans. Downfield and over the outstretched arms of Peyton Kramer, who opened this game with an 80-yard touchdown catch. First play from scrimmage for the Texans.
Man, a missed opportunity there from Gabalis. If he would just run the football low, there was no one for the quarterback. Man-to-man coverage down the field. He does a nice job stepping up into the pocket. Could have run for about 15 to 20 yards instead of just trying to throw a deep ball down the sidelines.
Gabalis has been tested before. 2021, while playing quarterback for Washington State, started the second half of the Sun Bowl against Central Michigan off the bench. Helped cut a 21-point deficit to a 3-point deficit, but couldn't get Wazoo over the hump. Hines with a jump and brought down at the 39-yard line.
And that was an interesting conversation you're going to have as a coaching staff as we get to around that 5-minute mark of what is the decision on these 3rd and 4th downs. Are you trying to get a first down here? Obviously you are, but if you don't and you get close, is it 4-down territory the rest of the way for this offense? So do you have now the opportunity to possibly run the football with Hines?
Some nerves inside Memorial Stadium right now. Hines, the counter, slips through one tackle. Hines, did he lose it? It looked like that football was starting to come out as Villanova was attacking it. Amari Bursey makes a step.
Well, exactly right there as anticipated. 4-down territory. Let's see if we can get either the first down or close with the way Hines has been able to run the football. Nice job by this offensive line to get him to the perimeter. You said it, low ball almost popped out there, but held on to it to the end.
Hines dislocated his elbow on the 5th play of the season. Only recently returned. That's why he's wearing that large brace on the elbow. Hines with the carry. He can get going in a hurry. And is brought down by Jason Hall.
Well, it's an offense that usually wants to go a little bit more up-tempo too, but I think they're in the mindset of, hey, let's end this game with the ball in our hands. If we're going to be in 4-down territory the rest of the way, let's utilize this entire clock and not give Villanova an opportunity if we're able to put the ball into the end zone.
Texans always a heavy RPO team. They noticed defenses starting to key in on the run game and creep up. That's why they went to the slow mesh. Buy a little bit more time. Willis in and out. There is a flag down. And a second flag comes flying.
I wonder if they're going to get taunting as well. After the play, you're going to get a holding. Asimi has been very physical on the outside. Have had some flags thrown his way, and some other ones have been close. I think he's going to get holding on this one as well, and they may get a taunting of him yelling at the sideline of Tarleton State after the play as well.
So it was Newton SEM in coverage.
There are 2 fouls on the play, holding number 38 of the defense. That's a 10-yard penalty. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 38 of the defense. Wow. First of the game, 15-yard penalty, first down, Tarleton State.
What an absolute change of momentum on one play. 7th defensive penalty on Nova, 5th in the second half, then tack on the unsportsmanlike. Mark Ferrante wants more discipline than that. Can Tarleton State, the number 4 national seed, capitalize? Under 4 minutes to play. They've led for most of the game. Hines trying to slow play this one, and he will not be able to get away from Amari Bursey, who has been an absolute wrecking ball for Villanova.
Well, I thought Bursey was a wrecking ball a week ago too, and then there's always the discussion of Hartzell, and obviously Hartzell's an absolute stud at the linebacker position, but Bursey really, watching the tape, jumped off to me with his size, his speed. 6 foot, 230, thick, just looks like a football player, looks like a linebacker, and he's been playing sideline to sideline this afternoon.
And Tarleton State really does look content to try to take this clock down as much as they possibly can and look for the go-ahead dagger on this drive. Late in the play clock for Gabalis. Gabalis with plenty of time. A sidearm sling and complete to the 25-yard line. It's the tight end, Danny Joyner. And Joyner stays down.
Take a couple looks at this one. Nice catch. Just going to run a shallow cross. Stays on the move. Accurate throw from Gabalis. And just that last hit there. Who's that from? Ooh, number 11 comes in there like a rocket. There's Jason Hall.
Good to see Joyner, tough kid, getting up, walking off the field. Junior out of Kansas City. This is a tight-knit team here at Tarleton State. Galvanized their cause, going on the road to West Point and beating Army in a shocking upset earlier this season.
Well, Gabalis has been way more of what we've seen this season. Been really good. They've been really good on third down as well on this drive. Obviously 4-down territory right now. Don't got to get all 8 yards on this next play.
Rocky start to the season for the Villanova defense. They have reversed their fortunes down the stretch, especially in these FCS playoffs. Gabalis pressure in his face, and there's a hold, and the flag comes out late. But it was definitely some contact there between Zamir Dawood.
I think it was West on the bottom of your screen there. That's going to...
Holding number 2 of the defense. 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
I think a clear call too. As soon as the quarterback sees that backside safety go to the middle of the field, he knows he's going to go to his one-on-one. And I mean, a ton of jersey being grabbed by Dawood on the outside against West.
35 penalty yards in all by Villanova on this drive. .234 remains. And now Gabalis, the communication to his sideline. This is going to lead to a stoppage of play. And the Texans take the timeout with 2:34 left to play. The FCS playoffs continue with semifinal action next Saturday on ABC and ESPN2. For more information, visit NCAA.com, the home for all NCAA championships. This is a moment of opportunity for all 7 teams still remaining in the FCS playoffs. First time since 2009, we've reached the quarterfinals with no North Dakota State or South Dakota State, 2 programs that have dominated the FCS level as of late. The winner here moves on to the semifinals. The Texans were the heavy favorite coming into this game, had a 14-0 lead, but Villanova has played the long game. Finally took the lead with McQuaid's touchdown pass to Reed, make it 26-21. First time the Wildcats led in this game. Can they hold on for the final 2:34?
We're getting a little 12 personnel, 2 tight ends on the field.
Gabalis looking for the one-on-one to the end zone. Catch is made out of bounds. Looking for Trayvon West.
It's just not a good job by West on the outside. Gets pushed towards the sideline. As receiver, you got to stack and then get back on the red line. You see him fading. You keep fading, you're going to go right out of bounds. You need to protect what we call the red line, about 4 yards, 5 yards from the sideline. Fight to stay on it and let the quarterback then fade you out of bounds.
Gabalis to throw again. Inside it, off the hands of the intended target, Trayvon West. A rough go for him. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 10. It is, with the clock and the score, obvious 4-down territory here for Tarleton State.
Well, they take Joyner off the field, bring back in Kramer, your top slot receiver, number 13.
Ross Pennypacker's Villanova defense looking for the stop here on 3rd and 10. Gabalis takes a snap, pressure in his face. Hall slipped, Gabalis rolling. Now Gabalis will run and drilled out of bounds, annihilated by Obinna Wabodo. And it's 4th down.
Well, Hearn's wide open, and he's looking. Gabalis is looking right at him in the flat. He's looking to the left side, so watch. We pause it right now. He's wide open, and he's looking left direction. You throw it to him, he has an opportunity to catch it, get into the end zone. He's working from left to right, completely missed his tight end for a possible go-ahead touchdown.
And that takes us to the 2-minute timeout. Electricity, anxiety, and everything in between. Spot the FCS semifinals on the line when we return. 4th and 6 for Tarleton State. A legacy-type moment for Victor Gabalis. 4th and 6, 2 minutes left. His Texans down by 5. A 3-year starter takes a snap. Gabalis flushed. He's got plenty of room on the left side. Throws! Caught! Touchdown! Texans take the lead. Trayvon West. 3rd time is a charm.
What a play by Gabalis. I thought he was going to run the football right there, go get the 1st down. Sees it, and does he get the feet in? Catch, left foot is
no.
No, it does not go down. How does it not go down? I don't think it touched.
I
don't think the left toe touched. I think it was coming down. The defender pushes him out of bounds, Lowell.
So we have now officially gone to the review, and we see Mark Ferrente just shaking his head like, that's not a catch.
It looked like the left toe of West was going to hit the turf in the back of the end zone for the go-ahead touchdown. And then we'll get a number on the defender. Looks like 36, Bostic Jr. is able to push him just before the toe is able to hit inbounds in the end zone. I think that previous view is the best look we're going to get. First foot that seems to hit the turf is the right foot, out of bounds, unfortunately, for West.
Is that indisputable for you?
It is for me.
It doesn't look like that thing comes down.
It does not look like it comes down.
Ruled a catch on the field.
Pause it now. It does not get down. What a effort play by everyone involved. But DeMille Bostic Jr., number 36, able to get enough of the receiver to knock him out of bounds.
Talk about pressure. Talking about a Villanova defense that's led by multiple six-year players. Yet it's a redshirt freshman, DeMille Bostic, that may have just saved the season. Now they are showing the replay on the video board here, and it's gone back and forth between Villanova responding like it's an incomplete pass and Hope on the Texas sideline with their reaction that it is a complete pass as it was called on the field. And this is a call that could determine the outcome of this game. 152 remains. If it is an incomplete pass, Texans will have the Wildcats backed up with 2 timeouts available. And let's get the call.
After reviewing the play, the catch was controlled, but the first foot, the right foot, was out of bounds. It's an incomplete pass. It will be Villanova's ball, 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
Well, we know it's a heartbreaking moment for that young man, Trayvon West. Gave it his all, but could not get the foot down before sailing out of bounds.
Like I said, incredible effort play by everyone on both sides there, offensively and defensively. And now the Texans have 2 timeouts, minute 52. We know this offense is explosive, but you got to get off the field.
See the Texans try to punch at the football here. 39 takeaways, by far the most in the FCS. They picked off McQuaid once today. That's going backwards as Mace is dropped for a loss by A.J. Owens. And Owens is coming up with the football, but the officials want it back. Said you didn't quite earn that rock.
Yeah, clearly down there is Mace. Tarleton State's going to have 1 timeout to go.
Yep.
A minute 48. So Villanova runs the ball twice. Tarleton State should get the ball with good field position and about a minute to go. The conversation has to be for Villanova. Do we throw the football at some point these next 2 plays?
How could you risk that with a ball hawking team?
Because at the end of the day, if you give them 1 timeout to go, or not, they're going to have to, if you don't get the first down, they're going to have time. Aren't you in good field position to still score a touchdown? You have to, if you have the opportunity to end the game, man-to-man coverage, aggressive defense, you have to take a chance these next 2 plays.
But do you not have an abundance of confidence in the way your defense is playing right now?
You are an inch away from giving up a touchdown. Literally, maybe even less than an inch, a toe away from that.
2nd and 13, Texans with 1 timeout left. McQuaid rolls it, flicks it to the freshman. Reed will put this thing on ice, sliding down smartly inbounds.
But slid too early, though.
No!
He slid too early. He needs to slide head first and stay in bounds. He's just like a quarterback who decides to slide. As soon as you initiate the slide, that is where you're down. So yes, he initiated at about the 19-yard line is when he went down or started to give himself up, which is short of the line to gain for the first down. So this ain't over.
So that looked like a headsy play by the freshman that ultimately turns into a freshman mistake.
Ooh, man, that is a great learning moment right there. That's teaching tape for coaches across America of, if you're going to give yourself up, make sure you're past the line to gain, and if not, dive forward or go take on contact and stay in bounds.
So now, what's the approach here for Villanova?
I think now that it's 3rd and 2, I mean, I love that last play call. Safe, have the ability to get to the edge. They've utilized it since the first quarter. It's worked out nicely. Maybe give your quarterback some sort of zone read or triple option play, just like you had, where you can hand it off to May still. And if not, quarterback is able to run it. McQuaid can run it or toss it as well.
Well, the Texans have an opportunity to get the football back. Comes down to this play, 3rd and 2. McQuaid, now to Reed.
Attaboy! Attaboy!
Lays out the heads-up play now from the freshman to now put this one on ice.
He's Superman. I mean, perfect play. We just said it. Run the same thing you just did. Give us a 3-way go. Hand it off, quarterback run, or flip it. And that's a freshman learning from his mistakes within 2 minutes and saying, I'm diving.
Hey, sometimes you got to learn the hard way.
Oh, I love it. Woo!
But what a game by Braden Reed. He threw the first touchdown pass of the game for the Wildcats when they were down 14-3. And then, after Tarleton State had still maintained control of the lead for the entire duration of the game, he comes up with a gem of a catch on a beautiful throw from Pat McQuaid. And with that knee, Villanova is going to close in on punching a ticket to the semifinals for the first time since 2010. And this will be the first time Mark Ferrante will take the Wildcats to the semifinals as head coach. He's been in Philly since 1987 when he started with the Wildcats as a linebackers coach. And now Villanova. They shocked Harvard. They upset the number 5 seed Lehigh. And now in their 3rd week of this FCS playoff run, shocks a heavily favored number 4 seed Tarleton State program to advance to the semifinals.
What a game to be where they were to start this game. Everything was going Tarleton State, and they just kept chipping and chipping. I'll be honest, they were the better team this afternoon. This was not a fluky win. They were the better team for all but the first 6-7 minutes of the game. Other than that, Villanova offensively, defensively, owning time of possession, more physical, creating explosive plays, deserve to win this football game.
Let's toss it downstairs to Lawrence Sisler.
Coach Ferrante, your team never gave up. What kind of statement does this football game and this win say about your football team?
Well, you know, because you asked me earlier, the tap the rock mentality, you know.
Let it out, Coach.
Yeah, Coach. Yeah. Go, Coach. You know, be resilient, persevere no matter what's happening, and our guys do that. So, really proud of this group.
Perseverance, toughness, grittiness. That's all about that Philly mentality. How did that show up today when your backs were against the wall?
I mean, that's what they've been doing all year. They've been doing it all year. So, really proud of this team. We probably had some teams in past years with a little more talent across the board, but these guys have been as together as I've ever seen. The locker room super tight. They break down on family all the time, and they believe it. So, real excited about these guys.
Now please rise for the plane.
And Pat McQuaid, your quarterback, that early interception never shook him. He never looked in the rearview mirror. How confident are you in him to continue carrying this team in this playoff run?
Yeah, he's our guy. He's like having a coach out there. I've said that before. And his personality, he's pretty fiery, but he doesn't let those things bother him. So he's a true leader, and just glad he's on our team.
All right, Coach, what do you tell those guys now as you head back into the locker room?
We get to practice 3 more days next week, so we're looking forward to it.
Enjoy this one. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks so much. Appreciate you.
Lowell?
Villanova, a team that lost to Penn State 52-6, then got shocked by Monmouth 51-33. After that loss, Shane Hartzell, defensive captain, brought the team together and said, we must protect the brand. And boy, had they done that. 11 straight wins. Only Montana State with a longer active winning streak in the FCS. And Montana State and Villanova are the 2 teams that have advanced to the semifinals. Nova will now sit back and watch Illinois State and UC Davis. If Illinois State wins that game, Nova will host in Philly. If UC Davis wins that game, Wildcats going to Cali. But remarkable, Aaron, to consider They're facing the #1 scoring offense in America, and they trailed 14-0 and still came back to get the win.
This is a defensive team. They've done it the entire playoffs, led with defense, the run game, and a quarterback that has been gutsy throughout the season as well. Can't wait to see what Villanova can do next weekend.
Came down to the play. DeMille Bostic forcing Trayvon West out of bounds to seal the dub for Villanova. 26-21 Wildcats to the semifinals. Kevin Connors, all you, man.